By Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also sponsored by American Family Insurance and Coors Light.
Edition. The game edition. The Dame edition. See what I did there?
Oh, I like what you did there.
Thanks.
Good. Not lame.
Pretty good. It's not lame. The Nostratautius edition.
One and the same.
Hall of Fame. All right. Am I to blame that we're doing this?
I'm just glad you guys came. No shame.
I need to tell everyone your name.
That's not lame.
We already did that one.
Tausch loses.
Oh. My enthusiasm isn't tame.
I love you guys. Edition of Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam. ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, although I have run into a bit of a glitch at my end, so I'm working on that.
It's not even Is Bane excited about Dame?
Of course. Just watching that the other day on TV.
It was on TNT. I was watching it too. I don't know why. I've only seen it 100 times. And of course, I think of Jesse talking into a cup when I do. All right. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson's in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. And from his undisclosed location, he's the Packers Hall of Famer. He is Mark Tauscher and the predictor. Now, it is not Dollar Dame. So that is the one thing that you did get wrong was his nickname. But on April 27th, you called for this. There is some disappointment in my house as far as how it happened and who departed because of it. But he is Mark Tauscher, and he was right about Damian Lillard being a Buck. Nicely done, sir.
Yeah, I got the Brewers wrong, but I've gotten a lot right, as you guys are well aware. I'm not going to sit here and pat myself on the back. What I will say is I think you have to give John Horst a ton of credit in the fact that you can't just sit still and expect things to change. Who was the guard when we ended up getting Drew Holiday that we got rid of? He ended up going to Arizona, played at Kentucky. Can you help me out here? For the Bucks.
Bledsoe. Eric Bledsoe.
Eric Bledsoe.
Yeah, yep. Eric Bledsoe or Drew Bledsoe. And it was, well, he's a nice player. And, we got trying to, force a big three down us. And Drew Holiday came and was everything we hoped he'd be. It led us to a championship. But for everybody that was, the defense is going to be hurt. Yeah, he was a great defensive player. Old boy torched us. And Drew Holiday was on him. And Dame Lillard is that explosive. One of the problems that the Bucks got caught up in was that end of game, who can create a shot, who can do all this, and Dame Lillard's gonna get that done. For me, I'm just super excited because now this gives us a chance, I believe, to keep Giannis for another 4 or 5 year window.
No doubt.
And we can let this thing rip. And I just love all of the naysayers and the Dan Lebatards crying in their beers like the Miami Heat were entitled to Dame because Dame wanted to go there. If Dame wanted to be an unrestricted free agent, he went to sign a fat extension with Portland. So we're excited that he's coming. I just love Windy trying to say, well, the real story is where's Drew Holiday going? It's always a way to try and slight what everybody knows is the Milwaukee Bucks hit a home run yesterday. And they're trying to spin it in different ways, which cracks me up. But make no mistake about it, the Bucks are now the favorites to win the whole blanking thing. And you have to give Horst, the ownership group, everybody involved, monster attaboys for making a tough decision, getting rid of somebody that helped you win a championship, to bring in somebody that you feel like can help you get another one. Kudos to everybody involved. I tweeted this yesterday. I don't know who's got it better than us. And I know Jesse said Georgia. Okay, yeah, sure. If you look at where we're at, Brewers team, which is going to surprise people, obviously surprise some of us, making the playoffs. You got the Packers flipping the script again, and now the Bucks. It's fantastic, and I think we are blessed to have the amount of success and the amount of just great storylines that we have in this wonderful state.
So, Jesse, when you saw this news, like I did, the first person I thought of was Tausch, and then I started thinking about Giannis and what he had said first to the New York Times, and then in another story later, I thought, all right, well, he ain't going anywhere. I mean, what more could he ask for? I believe he drafted Lillard first when he was like picking his all-star team too, right? I mean, this is clearly what he wanted, and he got it. What was your reaction?
It's amazing, and it just puts in perspective the golden age of Bucks basketball that we're living in. Because similarly to when the Bucks won the finals in 2021, and the first time it ever it clicked for me was in 2019 in the Deer District when TNT was doing the pregame show before the Eastern Conference Finals, and they had this full like college game day type setup behind them. To think where the Bucks organization is now compared to where it was 20 years ago, 15 years ago, is just insane. The fact that not only were they in the conversation for Damian Lillard, but they got Damian Lillard. The fact that they've had Giannis and have had him for a decade, and that they won a title a couple of years ago, and advancing in the playoffs isn't good enough for us anymore as fans of that team. Like, to think that that's where we're at after 15, 20 years ago, where the 8th seed was celebrated. Oh, we get a chance to go up against LeBron and the Heat in the first round of the playoffs. Wish us luck. Like, that was an accomplishment over a decade ago. And now to be where this organization's at, it's incredible. And this is just another like trophy on the mantle in a way as a Bucks fan, to know that national relevance is here and it's never been stronger.
Now, they obviously have to win. That's the whole idea of acquiring him. But Tausch, one of the other things we've talked about on this show many times is the Wisconsin, for lack of a better term, inferiority complex, and how we're always worried about people leaving, including Giannis, right? This is the exact, this is 180 degrees the opposite direction. This guy's coming here. And I saw that there, the Heat fans that you mentioned.
A bunch of babies.
On social media and Jimmy Butler.
Dan Lebatard legitimately should be embarrassed for himself. Like, I hope he is. He's not, because he's smug, but oh my God, is that embarrassing for someone with the chops, supposedly, that he has. Continue.
Yeah, it's we're not supposed to be cheerleaders, and obviously he is when it comes to some of his teams. But I would just, him notwithstanding, it looks to me like Damian Lillard. First of all, there was the suggestion, I don't know where it came from, I saw a couple people tweeting about it, that like Lillard is being sent to Milwaukee against his will. Like, this is not what he wanted, so he's not going to be happy. Seems to me, if you get to play with Giannis and there's a relationship there, he's probably pretty happy, right? And he knew about this going in. So I don't think there's much to worry about there. But how does this feel as a Wisconsin sports fan to have a great player coming in instead of worrying about a great player leaving?
Well, let's hold our roll. I mean, there's still people worried about Giannis leaving. Now, whether or not that's any factuality to it, I'm guessing this move was done to alleviate that.
Right.
But they have to win, as you put it. And Dame didn't choose to come to Milwaukee. You know, it's not like he was saying, send me to Milwaukee, that's where I want to be.
Sure.
Giannis is who brought him here. Without Giannis, Dame Lillard's never coming to the Bucks.
No doubt.
That's just the facts, Jack. But what's great about it is when you have Giannis and you have a position where you can attract and bring these other guys in, LeBron couldn't do it in Cleveland. LeBron couldn't. He tried to get D-Wade and Chris Bosh to go to Cleveland, couldn't do it. Giannis has pulled this off because of his talent and because of what he's all about. And again, the Bucks have to spend an exorbitant amount of money to do this. So we should be applauding them as well, because this is a monster move. Hey, Jimmy's got one here. If Jimmy's involved, obviously Jimmy's involved in some way, shape, or form. Doesn't change my mentality on Jimmy. But what I am rooting for is I want the Bucks to be great. I want them to do everything they can to put a championship caliber team on the floor. They're doing that. And as fans, that's all we can ask for. We don't want them to be frugal and rebuild and still this. We want, when you have an opportunity in the NBA and you're in a small market, you better wear it out. And I don't think anybody's going to sit here, regardless. Let's say Giannis leaves. I can't besmirch the ownership group. They have done everything in their power to put this group together to win. So that was what yesterday was about, and I think we as Wisconsin sports fans, we do have an inferiority complex. We're always worried about, well, what can happen here and what can happen here. Yesterday was a day of celebration because we got our guy, and other teams wanted him, and we found a way to do it. And that should be sprung-boarded into another championship, hopefully this coming season.
Well, if we're going to talk about championship teams, we got to talk about Gina Della and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
We do. Is it crazy for me to think that the Packers have the least amount of expectation? As we sit here, let's call it October 1, even though when I do my Pella read, it's not going to be.
That won't make it confusing, yeah.
The Packers have the least amount of expectations on them as we sit here right now. Who would have ever thunk it? Who would have thunk it?
I don't know. I know somebody who's been saying they're going to the playoffs ever since they beat the Bears, so those seem to be expectations.
Yeah, I know. I still think they are, but I don't think anybody thinks they're winning the Super Bowl. Brewers, go ahead and win a World Series. And everybody thinks the Bucks should win a championship, and everybody should replace their drafty old windows and doors with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Don't do it during the dead of winter. Did John Horst trade for Dame Lillard in December or January?
No.
Did he? Okay, he didn't. No. He did it now. Pella has that great deal going on right now as well. Pay as low as $19 a month per window and $75 a month on patio doors. The installation is completed with no mess and no hassle, leaving nothing but perfect results behind. Visit PellaWI.com today. 6.99% APR financing for 120 months. Certain restrictions do apply. See showroom for details. And today's the 28th. The offer ends, I believe tomorrow is the 29th. The 30th is when this ends, so you got 2 days to get this great deal in place.
No, he didn't trade in the dead of winter. He traded with 2 days left in September, with September having 30 days in its month. All right, I can't wait for October 1st and hear what Gina Della and the crew at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin have cooked up. 31 days in October. Yeah, are we going to keep track of those two?
Usually about the middle of the month is when I start doing that.
Start doing the math? Okay, sounds great.
Yeah, at the beginning of the month, we just let it rip.
While there is lots of excitement in Milwaukee and beyond as the 7-time All-Star is headed to Giannisville, we do have a Packers game tonight as well. There's been some updates on injuries and the like. We'll get to those as we get ready for Packers-Lions on Thursday Night Football. That's straight ahead. Stick around.
Damian Lillard is now a Milwaukee Buck.
A 3 wins the series. It's Lillard. He got the shot off. Lillard got it!
Keep it tuned right here to 94.5 ESPN.
You're just going to have to live with it. That's what I told myself. And if you can believe it, that's what the doctors told me.
Since Andy was a boy, he had health issues, which later we would find were primarily due to his trouble breathing. So for 36 years, Andy lived with about 85% blockage in his nose. He had to breathe through his mouth, because when he tried to breathe through his nose, it felt like he was being suffocated. It affected his sleep, his work life, and his ability to play sports. And he wasn't going to let it ruin his life anymore. So he came to Advent. As bad as it was, his problem required a simple solution. In-office balloon sinuplasty and turbinate reduction. Procedures you won't find offered by big box healthcare. This is Dr. Madan Kandula. It's definitely possible that your nasal breathing problems have a simple solution too. You can hear Andy's story in his own words at adventknowsandy.com and begin on your path to breathing well and living better.
AdventKnows.com. Results may vary.
With fall appliance savings at the Home Depot, we'll get your kitchen clicking. With new Samsung refrigerators with extra large capacities, or dishwashers with space-saving solutions that can fit so much you won't need the kitchen sink. Plus, with convenient shopping in-store and online, your savings are just a click away. Get up to $2,000 off select kitchen bundles. The Home Depot. How doers get more done. Pricing valid September 28th through October 18th. Fast range extra. U.S. only. See store or online for details.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Heading up north for some golf? Be sure to book a tee time at the Ball Golf Course, an Arnold Palmer masterpiece just north of Milwaukee on the way to Kohler. It's the best destination for your next Wisconsin round of golf. Enjoy golf. Enjoy the bog.
He's the most interesting man in sports radio.
Well, should I have a chip on my shoulder that I'm not making as much money as Skip Bayless?
In his mind, anyway. The Homer Hour with special guests every day from 5 to 6.
Homer, all the Packers and Jordan Love have to do this year is play like Aaron Rodgers and the Packers played last year.
The Homer Hour with Homer. Weekdays from 5 to 6. Right here on 94.5 ESPN and streaming live on YouTube. Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Want that mirror finish on your car? You need Z-Gloss by Z-Bart. Z-Gloss is a 3-layer ceramic coating that not only gives your car that mirror finish, it protects it from everything that Mother Nature can throw at it. Visit zbart.com for more information.
Jordan Love is yet to play without his full complement of wide receivers this season. Christian Watson hasn't played in the Packers' first 3 games while dealing with a hamstring injury. Watson is scheduled to make his season debut tonight. Love is looking forward to getting Watson back in the fold.
It's going to be huge just for everybody. Just help out. He's going to be a big playmaker for us, and probably just make the offense be a little bit more explosive when he's out there.
It's the Packers and Lions tonight at Lambeau Field with first place in the NFC North on the line. Kickoff is set for 7:15.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people with different political views and life experiences are coming together through the power of conversation, and it feels good. Hear more at lovehasnolabels.com/one-small-step. A message from StoryCorps, Love Has No Labels, and the Ad Council.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Tito's Handmade Vodka, America's original craft vodka produced in Austin, Texas, and naturally gluten-free. Tito's Handmade Vodka.
The sky comes falling down for you. There's nothing in this world.
So the Bucks get Damian Lillard.
LFG.
What's that stand for?
I can't say it on air.
You can't say let's go?
let's blank and go. Yeah.
There you go. Let's not go.
Are you not as excited as I am?
Well, I didn't predict.
You're not fired up?
I didn't predict it for
I don't
one.
care. The prediction stuff, we joke around a lot. Of course, I know a lot about what's going on.
Of course you do.
This is
we don't know
you just start piecing things together.
It took 5 months.
This makes sense. Things don't happen overnight, Jesse.
It does make sense, and we celebrate your Nostradamus-like predictions, and we tease you for ones that are off. And how about Homer?
But are you not jacked? Are
Homer,
you not jacked?
How about Homer yesterday? We asked him about things he's been most wrong on, and he tweeted like minutes before the trade happened that the talk of acquiring Damian Lillard was a joke, and it was just being made up to placate Giannis. And then the deal happened shortly thereafter. And as he said, I was happy to be wrong, and that's why he's the GOAT. Yeah, I'm excited. Look, Sydney really likes Drew Holiday, and I do too. And he could not have been nicer when she got to meet him. I was just, as I tweeted out yesterday, which, as you know, I have curtailed my X usage. But this one hit close to home because I remember being her age and the Brewers trading Gorman Thomas. And the disappointment that I felt about the guy who would run through walls and strike out 160 times and hit 45 home runs. But he wasn't my favorite player. And Drew is Sid's favorite player. She's inspired to play better defense by him and distribute the basketball and all those things. She wanted to pattern her game after him, and now he's going to be playing somewhere else. And so she was disappointed.
She still can.
She can still watch it, no doubt. But not quite the same as when he's on your team that you watch on TV and you get excited for and that sort of thing. So there was a mixture of lots of excitement because Damian Lillard is a fantastic 7-time All-Star. He's on the 75th anniversary team. He's a really, really good player. I'm not questioning that. Mm-hmm. I'm just telling you that when you're 12, there's some disappointment. And when you're the dad of the person who's 12, you do have to deal with that. Now, speaking of disappointment, I reached out to David Bakhtiari yesterday after the injury report came out. And I said, look, I don't know if you know Joe Thomas or not, and I don't know how you're doing with this.
Yeah, they know each other.
But Joe was on the show and listening. I did not realize what he went through with his knee the last year of his career. I said, you can't be doing great today. You might want to talk. It might help if you guys talk. Because I can't imagine how disappointed you are. I can't, again, I don't know anymore what to expect from him.
I think you have to expect he's not going to play.
Every
That's
week.
What you expect.
Right? And
I would not count on him playing again. And then if you could be surprised and say, because for everything that happened, there's obviously some stuff hit, and he did not come out of that Chicago game in any way, shape, or form that he could play, or he'd be playing. This is early in the year. This isn't a ton more wear and tear. It wasn't on turf. It was on grass. It was a relatively smooth game for him.
And it was 18 days ago.
He's dancing. And so there obviously is a lot going on. And when Joe was talking about how much degeneration and, Joe did not have the same trauma to his knee that David had.
Right.
I don't know how much Joe had on that knee. I know he had an ACL. I don't even know which knee he had the ACL on. We didn't ask because our journalism wasn't great that day. I should have asked because that would have helped.
We were not interrupting him because, look, the two things that he said that resonated with me were, one, that he felt the best he felt in that first game of that season because he'd barely practiced. Mm-hmm. And then after that, it was a blank show. And then secondly, how bad it was that, he was hiding it from the media, but that he was using crutches during the week to be able to play. And then when he said, this was what got me, I don't know about you, but I
know what you're going to say.
When he said that when he tore his triceps, he felt relief. Mm-hmm. That he suffered what turned out to be a career-ending injury, and that was met not with disappointment, but with relief. That tells you everything you need to know about the anguish that he was experiencing with his knee. And not knowing if he was going to be able to play. And knowing that if he did play, he was going to be in a lot of pain. Like, I thought the perspective he delivered was off the charts. And now
So did you get a response from David?
I did not.
Okay.
I got some responses from another injured person that our show has a connection with, but not with David. I didn't expect one. I just offered him that, and if he knows him already, then I hope he reaches out, because I'll be honest, not knowing David's situation and the murkiness with which the information has been delivered, listening to Joe completely flipped my perspective on this. Like, there was part of me that thought, well, maybe this is just mental, right? Rob Domofsky said that with us when he was on with us. He wondered that.
Yeah.
And now learning what Joe went through and extrapolating that out to what David is most likely going through, my perspective has changed. And you're right. The only problem I have with the idea of saying...
how has your perspective changed? What has it changed?
Now I'm not going to expect him to play at all. And like you said, and the only problem I have with that is not with David. My problem with that is how if we're at this point after 3 games, right, about to go into the 4th week of the season, how did you convert his base salary to signing bonus for cap relief and bring him back under these circumstances? Did you just in the offseason, like I'm sure Doc McKenzie, you don't make that adjustment to the contract without at least checking on his knee, right? Or can you not do that?
I honestly...
Yikes.
I said this from the jump. And, again, I know David. I like him. He's fun. I am always rooting for players to get paid. David got paid a bunch. I was dumbfounded when they did redo his deal and not ask him for a pay cut or keep. And especially with Rodgers leaving, I just thought now is the time. They're going young. Mercedes gone. Amos gone. Mason Crosby gone. Molly Crosby gone. The entire thing, it didn't make a ton of sense. And they know where he's at, and they knew it was going to be a struggle for him to play. I thought if he got 12 games, you're going to be happier than a clam. And hopefully that still happens. But I think right now, if you're looking from a fan standpoint saying he's going to play, you're fooling yourself. And to be out already after having 2 full weeks and some change off, it is obviously there's something going on. And I'm thinking from Green Bay's perspective, you need to either put him on IR, give him another 4 weeks, let him see. You can't continue to use a roster spot when he can't practice and he can't play.
Right.
That's just the cold reality of where we're at. David has gotten a lot of leeway because of how great of a player he is, and he deserves that.
Yeah.
But at some point, you have to make a decision. Can he contribute? Is he going to be able to help? Because if he can't, hey, he's still going to get paid. But if he can't help, you have Patrick Taylor. There's going to be a roster move tonight. Would I be shocked if David Bakhtiari goes on IR? No, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
Because you need a roster spot to put Patrick Taylor out there.
Yeah, he can't be elevated.
Now, maybe because Aaron Jones is playing, you don't do that now. But you're not going to sit here all season and just go week to week and David not being able to play. You're not maximizing your roster. So that's where all of this is going. And, yeah, I would not count on him playing another snap. And hopefully you're going to be wrong.
One last thing before we get to Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike, the show that leads into our program.
He's going to be super whiny. He is
a big Heat fan. There's no doubt. I look forward to the two of you going back and forth.
It's what a baby. Yeah, after last week's demolition that I was taken by you and other people said that.
You played with Chad Clifton. We talked about the big Lamborghini a lot on this show and how they got him to Sunday each week. This is apparently way more problematic because Chad Clifton was still able to play. You got whatever the medical staff and the training staff and the coaching staff.
He missed a bunch of time in fairness, like where David's
in 11 he suffered
Chad's
another injury. Though in 11 he suffered another injury and missed that time.
You don't know if that happened to David. in the Bears game.
Right. And that would be the part of that's why I said this to Joe when he was with us the other day. I understand the concept of competitive advantage, I guess, but it doesn't do the player any good to not have the facts out there. If he's getting his knee drained every couple of days, or if there's an infection or whatever it might be, it doesn't help David for no one to know what he's going through and what has happened. So whatever the case may be, he ain't able to play. And they will be without him yet again. And I think Tausch is right. They need the roster spot. All right. Before we get to Evan, you need to tell us about Fortrea, and all the great opportunities you have to make some cash over there.
Well, now you're going to want to get down to Bucks games with Dollar Dame coming into town. You got Brewers playoffs. You got Packers going out to Vegas and all the home games. You want a little extra cash? Well, our friends over at Fortrea has you covered. A couple of studies to grab a little of that extra spending cash. Healthy adults, age 18 to 60, BMI of 18 to 32. Study involves 2 stays, totaling 15 nights, and you can make yourself almost $14,000 for your time and participation. Another study, healthy males and females, ages 18 to 55. Females must be of non-childbearing potential. That body mass index of 18.5 to 32, 1 stay of 9 nights. Grab yourself a quick $4,055 for your time and participation. Go to FortreaClinicalTrials.com. That's Fortrea, Fortrea clinicaltrials.com.
Evan Cohen joins us next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Kevin Moret here from Mentality Men's Health. Guys, did you know that the stored belly fat reduces your free testosterone? The more the belly grows, the harder it is to drop, mostly because of the decrease in free T. It's a vicious cycle that men are losing, and unfortunately, everyone can see it. Mentality breaks that cycle with semaglutide, an industry-changing weight loss medication that can help you lose up to 15% of your body weight while preserving your testosterone. Join our over 20,000 clients to look and feel the way you deserve. In Milwaukee, go to lowtusa.com. That's lowtusa.com.
Life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance because you'll feel protected no matter how the wind blows. All so you can keep enjoying the home of your dreams. And our expert agents can help you save up to 23% when you bundle home with auto. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. American Family Insurance. Get a quote? Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. If you're in the market for a full-size 8-passenger SUV, look no further than the Defender 130. And with the Defender 90, the 110, and this 130, there's luxury in the right size for everyone. And now is the best time to take advantage of a great offer like this.
For a limited time, get 3.9% special APR rate for up to 60 months on new 2023 Defenders at Land Rover Waukesha. Go to LandRoverWaukesha.com.
UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Ashton Rotman with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
This week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is Sussex Hamilton wide receiver Nick Kine. The senior #1 receiver for the Chargers, putting together a heck of a season for a Hamilton team that is blowing out the competition each week. The Chargers, by the way, in 6 games have scored 307 points, giving up just 120 to their opponents. Last Friday night, Kine went for 191 yards and a touchdown on 7 receptions, bringing his season total to 699 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns. Friday's game, by the way, a 50-21 win for Sussex Hamilton over Marquette University High School to improve to 6-0 on the season. Nick Kine and the playoff-bound Chargers host Germantown this week.
Look at all this space I have on my desk. Finally, no more clutter.
I know, right? Plus, now I can actually see everyone and talk to them whenever I want.
Would you stop trying to ask people if there are more doors or wheels in the world?
Speaking of wheels, these chairs, woo!
I've never been more comfortable at work.
Coakley Brothers and Brothers Interiors, the official moving and furniture provider of GKB Milwaukee.
get to and from every home game in Green Bay this football season safely. Milwaukee Brat House, Jack's American Pub, and Wanakee Golf Course all offer transportation on game days. They've got bus services with private restrooms and all-you-can-drink packages. Book your round-trip ride from any of these locations and get complimentary access to an all-you-can-eat-and-drink tailgate at the bar on Holmgren Way. Make your game day experience a VIP experience with your official ride to Green Bay. Visit golfwanakee.com to book your trip today.
There's only one place in Milwaukee where every day of the year, dreams and reality get together for a great time. Where you can walk in a player and walk out a winner. That place, Potawatomi Casino Hotel. With fantastic dining, gaming, sports betting, a luxurious hotel, and endless ways to win, the excitement never stops. The only thing missing is you. Your win is waiting. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Visit our website to learn more. Must be 21 to enter casino.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
I just want to make sure I quote you correctly before Evan joins us. You predicted that he was going to be what?
Oh, he's whining and complaining.
Okay.
It's not fair.
We'll find out
Jimmy
together.
Butler's joking around.
We'll find out together now. You hear him every morning. 5 to 9 on ESPN Madison. 5 to 7 leading into Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on ESPN Milwaukee. On Unsportsmanlike, it is our friend Evan Cohen on Wilde and Tausch. Are you whining today, Evan? Because that is the allegation that has been levied in your direction before you joined the program.
I don't believe so, Jason, because here's the thing. I am a Miami Heat fan. I own that on Unsportsmanlike before you guys in Madison and before Jen, Gabe, and Chewy in Milwaukee and in Beaver Dam. But at the same time, I think the Milwaukee Bucks are an unbelievable first-class championship organization that made a phenomenal move yesterday in acquiring Dame Lillard. Jimmy Butler was clearly joking around, as he always does, on Twitter, on social media, on Instagram. He is admittedly a troll. Did the Miami Heat swing and miss? Absolutely. Did the Milwaukee Bucks steal a great player last minute in Dame Lillard to be able to keep their other great player, Giannis, there long-term? No doubt. Are the Milwaukee Bucks on paper right now better than the Miami Heat and everyone else arguably in the NBA? No question about it. But they were last year too, and it didn't work out for them because of injuries and other stuff. The Milwaukee Bucks made an awesome move yesterday. I'm not whining in any way, shape, or form. I think people are ridiculous to write off Miami, but two things can be said. Milwaukee is awesome, and Miami could be as well.
Yeah, no, you were whining, and it's not only you, it's your boy Levitard and all the. You're whining right now. You're whining now, and then you're saying, "Hey, Evan, I heard you this morning. I listen every morning. I love the new show. I think it's great. I think Chris Canty is awesome. I think he knows what he's talking about." You didn't know what you were talking about this morning. You say Drew Holiday's younger, and then I Google it. They're the same age. You guys struck out. You guys haven't been able to get a star since LeBron James left, and now you're using this culture. You're gritty, you're grimy, but you haven't won jack since LeBron left, and now you're placating and doing all this stuff. Just admit, hey, we're maybe not everything we dreamed to be. Jimmy Butler's a nice player. He's not a superstar. He's a good player. Why can't we just admit that?
Oh, boy.
In what world are you telling me that Jimmy Butler is not a superstar, nor do they acquire a superstar?
How many MVPs does Jimmy Butler have? How many MVPs does Jimmy Butler have?
So he has 2 finals appearances where he carried.
No. How many MVPs? MVPs?
None.
But okay.
No, how many MVPs
Is there
does Dame Lillard have?
I don't know.
None.
He's not the
So then
star.
he didn't
Giannis
play a
is.
superstar.
Giannis is the superstar. Okay.
Tausch, I don't want to do the tit for tat, but you just walked into it. Jason asked a simple question that I asked an answer to, an open-ended question. You're making it. Well, no, but you want to do this? You freaking treated Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers like a championship organization since 2011. After that, you guys haven't won squat since then, and you've treated Aaron Rodgers like he's a freaking god. Well, I am. Because give me a break. If we're going to play that game, Miami has won 2 championships since the Packers have won theirs with Rodgers. And Rodgers isn't an MVP 4 times over. And he is a unanimous first ballot Hall of Famer. And he is amazing at football. But the way in which you looked at the Green Bay Packers every damn year was championship or bust. And you wouldn't allow for people to come on and say, oh, you've done nothing. You talk about this, talk about Title Town. Oh, give me a 1265. What's the difference? What is the difference? And you know what? Yeah, I got something wrong. Drew Holiday and Dame Lillard, I guess, are the same age. That's on me. I apologize. Give me a freaking
Well, thank you for apologizing. I just feel like you guys have this Heat culture and you're gritty, and everybody just expects everything to always work itself out, and Pat Riley's the godfather and all this other stuff.
Guess what? It does. You know what? Guess what? It's like, in a way, it is like the Packers quarterback situation. Because as we've seen, it always works itself out. They go from one damn Hall of Famer to another, and now a guy who looks like he's going to be a Pro Bowler, I'm not going to call him a Hall of Famer, but as you both predicted in the preseason, that Jordan Love was going to be very good for them. Nobody's comparing him, at least at this point, to Rodgers. For you to sit here and say, things don't work out for the Miami Heat is actually laughable. You, Mr. Almost retired from football in college, gets drafted in the 7th round, or whatever the hell you were drafted, had a decade-plus long career as an afterthought, and you made yourself into something. You are the Miami Heat, so you hate yourself. That's what I'm going to say.
Don't tell me I hate myself. What are you doing? Oh, this is how rattled Evan Cohen. Okay. This is how rattled Evan Cohen, Dan Le Batard, all these Heatles are today, that's the comeback that he's got. All right, I rest my case. The Miami Heat, nice little organization, very plucky, but they didn't get Lillard. And the Milwaukee Bucks did.
All right. Can I
jump in?
All right, just briefly. Because I'm really enjoying being a spectator
hate myself.
for this.
I don't think I'd ever hear.
Wait a second. No, because Jason, here's what I'm now annoyed with Tausch. Okay, Jason, you claim to not be a fan when it comes to pro sports. You absolutely admit you root for UW, where you and I both and Tausch went to school, right? You are also simultaneously rooting for Oregon, right? You like what's going on in Oregon. You can say, I like what's going on in 2 places. I have never said a bad word about the Milwaukee Bucks because there's nothing to say. I look at the Milwaukee Bucks and say they pulled an amazing move yesterday out of absolutely nowhere. Period. Next sentence. I still believe they'll probably play the Heat in the playoffs again. Like, you could say both.
Right. I just was, I know this is going to surprise you, but I was actually going to agree with you. Because gritty and grimy, which are the words that Tausch used to describe how people view the Heat, dude, you overcame all these obstacles to being great, and yes,
I'm
you
not
just got
talking about me.
We know you're not talking about
me.
you, but when he screams at you that you're saying you hate yourself, I do think he's got a point. Because look, you just said yourself that they don't have a star.
Here's the bottom line.
You called their star player not a superstar.
He's not.
They're plucky.
He's a really good player.
Grimy and gritty. They had no business being in the finals last year.
Exactly.
I agree with that. If Giannis isn't hurt, they get knocked out in the first round. But that's what happens. They are built. They're gritty and tough.
You don't know that. You don't know. But
no, I do. You know that too.
No,
come on.
Tausch, what Jason just said is correct, and I don't want to break down the Miami Heat, obviously, in Wisconsin, but I'll just give you one quick thing. Like, I watch all 82 Heat games. They were unwatchable during the course of the regular season last year. They were horrible. And so when Canty this morning on Unsportsmanlike asked me, better player, Jimmy Butler or Dame Lillard, what I said was for the first 82, Dame Lillard. For the next hopeful 16, it is proven to be Jimmy Butler. 3 to 5 postseason performer in this league right now. He is not a top 3 to 5 regular season performer. But what the organization is made up of, as I said and as Jason agreed with, are tons of people like you who weren't supposed to be there, overachieve, make themselves into something in order to help those superstars. In your case, Favre and Rodgers, and now Wilde, and in their case, all the undrafted guys with Jimmy Butler, right? That's now... So, and again, Tausch hates Tausch. That's what we've learned today.
Okay, fair enough.
I think I know what this podcast hour will be titled for today.
Can I just say one other thing? Jason, do we have time for me to make one other non-basketball statement?
What, have you never been on the show? I do a show with Tausch. What clock? Go ahead.
So, I had this thought, okay? And you guys know this guy better than anybody. Does Aaron Rodgers, and I'm saying this like literally, not facetiously, does he have a little Packers envy in that as much as he thought that his organization may have been dysfunctional, the level of dysfunction that the New York Jets have is on another level from what he's used to, and he seemingly, with McAfee, has unsolicited brought up very complimentary things about the team. I don't mean the organization, but I mean, like, we know he loves Jordan Love. He's complimenting the comeback they had. It feels like Rodgers has a little Packers envy right now.
I think he's in a difficult place. I think the level of his disappointment for what happened is, we forget that he is a human being. I think he is really crestfallen, and I also think he really... Look, he has a track record of really liking the guys that back him up, right? Matt Flynn, all those guys, Scotty Tolzien, Jordan Love. I think he was excited to not only have success himself, but to give Zach Wilson a couple of years of breathing room to try and fix what was wrong with him and maybe become the quarterback that he could have been as the second overall pick. And now he's watching Joe Namath go out there and trash the kid that he likes, that he was hoping he could help his career while also having success. I think he's just in a really dark place, and I do think it's
so
authentic.
He does not have Packer envy. You don't think he has Packer envy?
I don't think he still wants to work there. No, as long as Goody's the GM.
So then, does he have Kelsey envy?
You mean he'd like to be dating Taylor Swift?
That is what I mean, Jason. Yes, I didn't mean does he want to be the tight end for the Chiefs. I didn't mean does he want one of his brothers to be a center for the Eagles. That's not what I was asking. Yes. Does he have Kelsey envy?
Well, maybe he wants to have the same relationship. Never mind. With his brothers, never mind.
Well, you may be, okay, that's fair. You may be right about that one. But does Aaron Rodgers, noted Swiftie, does he have Kelsey envy?
Now that's a great question, and I would like to explore that further. I may do some digging on that. That may be a question that needs to be asked of him. Yes, I'm guessing. Although, again, I'm not an expert in her dating history, but it would appear that there are some roller coaster aspects to her relationships as well as with his. So maybe they're a good match for a short period of time.
It seems like she plays the West Coast offense just like he can. I mean, it's like the perfect match. There you go.
They could sit together Sunday night at the game.
Well, they are both available, yes. Evan?
That's not a bad move. That's not a bad one. Do they sit together in the suite, but does then Travis come off the field? Maybe that's good strategy. Aaron goes to the game, sits with Taylor as a way to get Travis Kelce annoyed. Chiefs now play one tight end less against the Jets on Sunday night. Interesting.
That would certainly help his guys' chances at quarterback as well of winning the game. Evan, we appreciate you. Tausch hates Tausch. The headline for today's 9 o'clock hour. Thanks.
On Wisconsin. See ya.
That is Evan Cohen of... Now, what did we say? He demolished you last week?
Yeah, no, he was completely knocked out there. He's rattled. His heatdom is... When you have to start throwing personal hate jabs at the other person saying it to himself, you've lost in a big way. That's how I would.
I did not. I got to be honest. I did not see that coming. But they are gritty, and so are you.
He is just. It's so funny because all of these big cities with all this great stuff that flyover country, and look at it, when they don't win, they whine and pout like babies. That's what's happening here. You're seeing this tough, gritty Heat culture. Oh, you tampered. Tyler Hero? What do you care? You're the guy that's getting shipped out. You're complaining about getting tampered with? What a bunch of babying. Oh, my God. Wah. Get over it.
Tyler Hero, what are you doing here?
Tyler Hero, you guys are tampering. Hey, bro, you be on the first plane to Portland, brother. What is he doing? Oh, my gosh.
We will review the TKO from Tausch over Evan Cohen coming up next. Stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Most importantly, I'm a winner. I want to win.
There's a new star in the Cream City.
Blockbuster deal that lands the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis Antetokounmpo, All-NBA guard Damian Lillard.
Damian Lillard is now a Milwaukee Buck.
A burst into the lane, flushed him with a right hand. Damian Lillard right down the funnel.
Welcome to Dame Time.
There's Lillard again from the logo. That's twice. You cannot stop Damian Lillard.
This is 94.5 ESPN.
Looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this football season? Well, test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projection for a wide variety of statistics, and place your entry. It's as simple as that. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and an enormous selection of players and stat options are what make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Ready to test your skills? Join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million football fans who have already signed up. And right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/WI and use code WI. That's code WI at prizepicks.com/WI for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy.
This Brewers Top Moment is presented by Network Health.
June 6, 2023, with the Brewers and Orioles tied at 3 apiece in the bottom of the 10th inning. Facing 2 outs with runners on first and second, it was Joey Wiemer, the Brewers rookie, coming through with the game-winning hit.
Breaking ball hammered down the left field line. This ball is going to one-hop the wall, and this game is over. Joey Wiemer with his second walk-off of the season, and the Brewers
This Brewers Top Moment is presented by Network Health.
Hi, I'm John McGivern. If you're looking for a Medicare plan with freedom and flexibility, choose a Network Health Medicare Advantage plan. Plans start as low as $0 a month with $0 doctor visits and $0 prescription drugs, plus vision, hearing, and dental benefits. For 40 years, Network Health has been a trusted expert in making health insurance affordable and understandable. Don't wait. Call 833-7-NETWORK today.
Hey Brewers fans, our favorite season is here, October baseball. Now's the time to put your wallet in winning mode with Wintrust Community Bank's most popular checking account. Open a Total Access checking account today and score yourself a $300 bonus with qualifying activities. Think about all the extra brats that you'll get. Experience the playoffs and banking as it should be. Visit wintrust.com/Brewers October. Wintrust, Wisconsin's bank. Different approach, better results. Proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Only $100 required to open. No minimum monthly balance or monthly maintenance fees. Member FDIC.
It takes a team to meet just about any goal, and that's as true on the football field as it is in the office. So it's good to know that you have the Gordon Flesch Company on your side. For more than 60 years, GFC has provided cutting-edge office technology for companies of all sizes, and as the nation's largest Canon dealer, GFC delivers the latest office technology, service, and is supported by the most experienced professionals in the industry. That's business technology managed. Visit gflesh.com to learn more.
Here in Wisconsin, a good old-fashioned is an important way of life. And that's where my friends at Perky's Old Fashioned come in. Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Gabe Neitzel here to tell you about the easiest way to put together an old-fashioned. Perky's offers both brandy and bourbon old-fashioned mixes. And get this, the booze is already in there. Just add the soda of your choosing, and you'll have Grandma Perky's Old Fashioned in the palm of your hand. Perky's is locally made and great for get-togethers of all kinds. Get perked up and head to perkysspirits.com for your nearest Perky's location.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
I want Dollar Dame. I want to get Dame Lillard here. That will solve a lot of these
what are you giving
droughts.
What are you giving up to get him?
I'm giving up Chris Middleton and or Drew Holiday and some picks. I want Dollar Dame to come here. That's who I want. He wants out of Portland. Portland's rebuilding. I think that's the splash move that we make as a Bucks operation. I want Dollar Dame in Milwaukee with Giannis. That stuff at the end of games, that ain't happening with Dollar Dame.
Who do you want coaching Dollar Dame and Giannis?
Hey, Dame time. It's Dame time in Milwaukee.
That is our trip in the Wayback Machine to April 27th when Tausch, Dame Dollar Dame, said what he wanted. Didn't necessarily predict it, I guess, technically, but give it to him. Nailed it. Damian Lillard did play in Portland. Now it will be, at least briefly, Drew Holiday is there. The Bucks also parted with Grayson Allen, who went to the Suns as part of this trade.
Isn't that a shame?
I know. We're all big Duke fans on this panel. So we wish Grayson Allen good luck there as well. All right, Tausch, before we get back to the Packers to kick off the 10 o'clock hour, have we decided that you and Evan, much like, he's on Unsportsmanlike, but there are lots of debate shows that are on ESPN, First Take. Is this going to be our little mini First Take? You guys are just going to
I don't want that.
Fight it out?
No, I don't want that, but it
seems like you do.
It
seems like you really want that. Yeah.
No, I'm not interested in that. I do love a good debate. You guys know that. I'm not running from
aware.
A good debate.
Yeah, no, we're aware.
And I enjoy the problem.
Winning.
Evan overtalks. He overtalks me. He won't shut up.
It's not easy to do.
You know how you get frustrated? You get frustrated when I speak over the top of you. So that's something that I'm not used to. I'll get better at that. But there is just something about folks from Miami, L.A., when they look at their sports teams, and nobody will go there.
So wait a minute.
Nobody will play in Milwaukee.
Wait a minute. So I was reading the story this morning about this. I think it was in Sports Illustrated, that Damian Lillard's request 3 months ago was specific that he wanted to go to the Heat.
Don't care.
No.
Don't care.
I understand that you don't care. That's not the point I'm trying to make. It's that if you were a fan of the Heat, you wouldn't whine because you're not a whiner. I'm not saying you would. But if a player requested to be traded, let's say he requested to trade to the Bucks.
Sure.
Right? And you're a Bucks fan, you're sitting there going, well, what the hell's going on out here? I thought he said he wanted to be here. Why is he not here? And there was a point in the negotiations where the Trailblazers stopped communicating with the Heat, which was clear that they were going in a different direction. Now, Jesse, that's amazing that you put that text up. If you're not watching on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube, Jesse just posted a text from the Talk and Text line from Kevin and Racine, and this was the exact question that I was hoping to get into you and Evan, but that did not come to fruition. Coach Bud, for all his foibles, is an experienced coach who won a title. Obviously, he is no longer the head coach. There is an inexperienced head coach. To read Kevin's text, will a new, inexperienced coach be able to manage two superstars to a championship? Tausch, again, I don't know enough about Adrian Griffin to know how good or not good he's going to be, but I think that's a valid question that Kevin's asking. Don't you think?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a very fair question. We don't know. Listen, I know people think that these leagues are scripted and things. You position yourself to win championships. That's what you do. You have to get the right mixtures. You have to have the right chemistry. And it's on the new coach to be that guy. And he'll have to figure things out. It's not going to be a finished product right away, but I don't think anybody could argue, and the Miami Heat fans for sure are part of that Dame Lillard isn't a monster offensive upgrade to what this team needed.
Yep.
That's why we picked him up. That's why we're doing it. And as far as the Miami Heat fans and Dame Lillard wanting to go there, yeah, the Miami Heat were basically saying, we'll give you Tyler Hero and a couple picks. Tyler Hero is a nice NBA player. He's not Drew Holiday. He's not. So for everyone that's saying, well, this should be the case, just because Dame Lillard wanted something, I don't know. I would disagree. But it's worked out the way it was supposed to.
But I would also add that
Joe, take it to the Madigan. No. Not today, Joe. No, not today, Joe.
Joe on Twitter.
That's what it says right
Yeah, I'm confused by that because that's supposed to be text messages. I think my point was usually when players demand that they do something, it gets done the way they want it, right? I mean, Aaron Rodgers didn't get traded to Tampa Bay. He got traded to the Jets, which is what he wanted. Like all the NBA moves, very, very rarely does a player say he wants to go somewhere and get sent somewhere else. So I think there were, thoughts that, hey, maybe this isn't what he wanted and he's not going to be happy. It sure seems to me like, and by the way, the Bucks are unveiling his jersey at the Pro Shop at Fiserv Forum at 11:30. So if you want to get your Dame Lillard jersey, head on down to the Fiserv Forum right away. You'll be there. All right, we need to kick off the 10 o'clock hour and get back to the Packers, which is what we do best. Tausch, raise a glass of Tito's vodka, though, in victory and in excitement for Damian Lillard being a Buck.
Dollar Dame, he's here. We celebrate. We tailgate. Go out to Fiserv, tailgate before you get that new Dollar Dame jersey. And Tito's will help you. Take it to the house this season and enjoy tailgating from your own backyard. Tito's wants to make sure you have the best tailgate on the block. You can win game day gear for your next gathering by entering to win at Tito'sTailgate.com. Be sure to enter by November 15th for your chance to win a Solo Stove Grill, a Brewmate back tap for batched cocktails, or a Tito's football jersey. For official rules, visit Tito'sTailgate.com. Must be 21 to enter. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
The green and gold game preview. Wilde and Tausch trivia, most likely with an out-of-state contestant. The Steinhafels sleepers of the week.
Be great if it was somebody from Florida or Miami. Oh, Le Batard, call in.
And the return of the survivor pool, which we forgot to do last week.
He was supposed to come to us. That's where he wanted to be.
Is that what Evan sounds like?
That was Le Batard.
Oh, okay. All those things are coming up in the 10 o'clock hour, which kicks off in 2 minutes. So stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Hey, folks, if you're like me, this is your favorite time of the year. Not only is it football season, it's Chevy truck season, too. You can go from watching great tackles on the gridiron to tackling any challenge that comes your way with the strength, trailering, and off-road capability of the powerful Chevy Silverado. So don't miss Chevy truck season and take advantage of exciting offers available right now. See your local Chevy dealer and visit WisconsinDriveChevy.com.
Take it to the house this season and enjoy tailgating from your own backyard. Tito's wants to make sure you have the best tailgate on the block. You can win game day gear for your next gathering by entering to win at Tito'sTailgate.com. Be sure to enter by November 15th for your chance to win a Solo Stove Grill, a Brewmate back tap for batch cocktails, or a Tito's football jersey. For official rules, visit Tito'sTailgate.com. Must be 21 years old to enter. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
The annual Catholic Memorial High School Open House is October 15th. If your family is interested in becoming part of the CMH tradition, make plans now to attend from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Sunday, October 15th. Register at CatholicMemorial.net. As the only school awarded the Exemplary Award for Academic Excellence by the Archdiocese, find out how your student can achieve more at CMH. Tour the school, meet faculty, learn about all the clubs and extracurricular activities. Register today at CatholicMemorial.net. Catholic Memorial High School, where you rise.
Get to and from every home game in Green Bay this football season safely. Milwaukee Broad House, Jack's American Pub, and Wanakee Golf Course all offer transportation on game days. They've got bus services with private restrooms and all-you-can-drink packages. Book your round-trip ride from any of these locations and get complimentary access to an all-you-can-eat and drink tailgate at the bar on Holmgren Way. Make your game day experience a VIP experience with your official ride to Green Bay. Visit MilwaukeeBroadhouse.com to book your trip today.
Brad Nortman here. Catch me on KBN, weekdays from 2 to 5. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
I've been grinding so long, been trying it for years. And I got nothing to show, just climbing this rope right here. And if there's a man upstairs, he kept bringing me rain. But I've been sending up prayers and something's changed. I think I finally found my hallelujah. I've been waiting for this moment all my life now.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. And it begins on this Packers-Lions game day with the green and gold game preview.
Let's take a closer look at this week's matchup. This is the Green and Gold Game Preview.
Thursday Night Football, Amazon Prime.
Oh, boy.
Packers-Lions at Lambeau Field. Early season NFC North implications in this one tonight, guys. What is the big storyline? Several to choose from heading into tonight's game on Thursday Night Football. Old T?
Yeah, I heard Dan Orlovsky on Get Up this morning talk about the variation of the Detroit run game. I think if Green Bay can force this thing to be a Jared Goff game, Green Bay's going to win. What happened in Atlanta in the second half is how Green Bay loses games, and that is they let the running game get going. And for as much as I am a big Bijan fan, they have a young guy. Help me out with this young man's name, Gibbs.
No, I want you.
What?
I want you to
right,
give his
anyways,
name.
Detroit's
come on,
run game.
Your job now as the radio color analyst.
Yeah, I need to do that for Wisconsin.
You prepare
I do,
for
Wisconsin. Gibbs. So Gibbs is going to be somebody, he's an Alabama guy, and they drafted him high, and everybody was like, what are you doing? What's going on? Well, tonight is why they drafted him. I think the Detroit Lions think they're more physical and tougher than the Green Bay Packers. I think Dan Campbell comes in here and says, hey, that's a soft football team. That's what they did last year. And if they're allowed to run the football in the ways that Dan Orlovsky is saying they're the most multiple run unit in the league, hey, they have a really good O-line. And Decker, their left tackle, sounds like he's going to play. I thought that was a big kind of turning point because they got Penny Sewell, who's a really good offensive tackle.
He is.
It's going to make it a lot more difficult if he can play tonight to get after the quarterback. But it's all to me, if you can't stop the run, and if Detroit can control the tempo and stay in regular down and distance, it's going to be tough sledding for the Packers to win tonight.
I just wanted to hear how you would pronounce Gibbs' first name. Jahmyr. And according to the Lions, it's Jamir. And I would have said Jameer. So that's all. That's all I was looking for, but that's fine. Look, I'm going to take the low-hanging fruits since you left it on the tree for me, as you often do. Aaron Jones and Christian Watson are going to play for the Packers tonight. Christian Watson hasn't played all year. Aaron Jones scored a 35-yard touchdown, grabbed his hammy, claimed he could have gone back into the game, and then missed the next 2 games.
Yeah,
I want to see... I didn't say he could have. I said he claimed he could have.
I know. I understand. I just wanted to clarify.
I thought I'd been fairly clear.
Okay.
But I want to see, and he's not going to have his full 5-man offensive line. He's going to be missing the 2 starters on the left side. Tausch's video froze, and I thought he was trying to get the last drip of coffee or tea out of his cup because it was up there for so long, but it was just frozen. I want to see what this offense looks like with Jordan Love's full complement of weaponry at the skill positions. We haven't seen it yet this season. Now we get to see it tonight. That, to me, is the biggest storyline. Jesse, what's next?
Green and Gold game preview, Packers-Lions tonight. Besides Jordan Love, which Packers player is most important for Green Bay to find success on the home turf tonight? Tausch?
Yeah, this is going to... Aaron Jones is that low-hanging fruit that Jason just kind of talked about. Quay Walker. Campbell's out, right? I believe Devontae Campbell's not playing.
He is out. That is exactly who I was going to say.
Yeah, I think he has become, he's making a ton of tackles. He had the pick 6 versus Chicago. But the key to the game is going to be stopping the run. It's going to be impact plays. They're obviously going to have their target on Rashawn Gary when he's in there. They're going to say, we can't let 52 game wreck us. They're going to also say we can't let Kenny Clark game wreck us. That is going to leave Quay Walker with some availability, whether it's blitzing or getting behind the line of scrimmage and making impact plays. He is going to need to have a 15-plus tackle game and hopefully a forced turnover. I think Quay Walker is going to be the key to how this game plays out. If he is making impact plays behind the line of scrimmage and doing what we all expect him to do, Green Bay is going to win. He also has to think back that he got thrown out of last year's game. This is a growth game for him.
Yeah.
It's a big football game tonight. Quay Walker needs to be a big-time player. That elevation from year 1 to year 2, he's been okay so far. I thought he played really well, but he needs to be impactful. Tonight isn't the night for him to show that.
Yeah, since Tausch did take the guy that I was going to pick, I will take the guy he mentioned.
Go Anders Carlson.
Along with that. No, I'm gonna take Kenny Clark. Kenny Clark has been a beast through 3 games.
Oh, yeah.
He's been a field-tilting player. Now, the guys around him are going to have to play the run well. The T.J. Slaytons, the Wyatt so hard to stop the run, Devontae Wyatt. Those guys are going to have to play well, too. But Kenny Clark, this is another game. I know it's on Amazon Prime, but primetime games are when you have the opportunity to show how much of a great player you are. No one else is playing tonight. Everyone is watching. Your opportunity to show what you can do. He needs to keep playing at the level that he's been playing. He's been very good. All right, what's next, Jesse?
Last question for the Green and Gold game preview, as it usually is. The Packers beat the Lions and take over the top spot in the NFC North if blank. Fill in the blank, Tausch.
Okay, so I have already kind of went over, I think rushing yards is going to dictate who wins this game. But sneaky fun matchup tonight that I think will determine who wins this football game. And it's going to come down to red zone play, red zone tight end game. I know Romeo Doubs and Jordan Love have a great little chemistry going, and the red zone part of that's been really good for him. Jaden Reed's been scoring tutters. But I just get the sense, especially with Christian Watson being back in these games, that speed is going to change how the defense defends Green Bay's offense. I think you're going to see more safety help with the speed. I think that leaves the middle of the field more open. And I am fascinated to watch this tight end battle tonight. Musgrave versus Laporta. Lions are incredibly happy with Laporta. Packers are incredibly happy with Musgrave. Who's more impactful tonight? Who gets the tutter? Who has a couple of big plays that change the game? Whose tight end has a bigger night? I think that will go a long way to tell you who wins this game tonight.
Who's going to cover Amon-Ra St. Brown? Is Jair going to play? And if he does...
I don't think he's playing. Doesn't sound like he's playing.
So if he doesn't, then Amon-Ra St. Brown lines up in the slot a fair amount. And while I am a big Keyshawn Nixon guy, that will be a very big test for him because that's facing the number one receiver on that team, right? And so if the Packers can win or get a draw in that battle, then I think they win the game. Yes, the low-hanging fruit is if the Packers stop the run, they win the game. That's what you said at the beginning. But that matchup, to me, especially if Tausch is right and Jair doesn't play at all, that's going to be a big matchup. They can't afford to have Amon-Ra St. Brown run away with the game on them. So that's the one I'll go with.
I just think, man, I also think one of the other little sneaky hidden parts to this game, how will Detroit handle the pressure that's on them? The Green Bay Packers, for the first time in forever, they're going to be playing with house money tonight in their minds. Now, they have different objectives than I think fans and everybody else. Obviously, they do. But Detroit is going to feel it. They have, hey, the Packers' left side of the O-line's out. We are supposed to be the kings of the North now. We came in here and snatched your soul last year, and we're burying you tonight. That's where the Detroit Lions' mind space is at. That comes with, are they up for it? Can they handle that pressure? I think they are under inordinate amount of pressure tonight. I don't believe the Packers. I think the Packers are going to be free flow, playing without that burden.
What makes you say that about the Packers, Tausch? Because I am curious because you're right. I think going into the season, they felt that way, right? Like nobody expects anything of us. We're going to prove everybody wrong. But now they're coming off of a euphoric win. They're playing a team that has beaten them 3 times in a row. And I know a lot of these guys are young guys that weren't in some of those games. But I also think there's a vibe of, this is our chance to show we're for real. And I find myself wondering if that puts a little more pressure on the Packers than you are suggesting they feel.
I feel like when you listen to Matt LaFleur all offseason, tamping down expectations, I think one of the things internally, they have these beliefs that we're going to rule the North still. But I don't think they're going to run from or push back on the narrative of, Lions are the kings of the North. That's what everybody's saying. They're going to feed into that narrative. Guys aren't going to. So it's one thing about what your actual perception is. The public perception is this is on Detroit. Detroit feels that. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like Green Bay feels that. We'll find out. But Detroit has not been in this position in a while. It is not the easiest thing. As we heard Mike McCarthy always say, the toughest thing to do is handle success. Mm-hmm. Detroit has not had much success. Tonight, you can really put a lot of doubt in the minds of fans and players in that organization. If you stomp this team at Lambeau tonight, that whole narrative shifts. Detroit doesn't want it to shift. They want it to stay this way. Green Bay will be happy to shift it. Tonight will be the night to see which way that goes.
All right, well, speaking of the Lions, it's time for trivia. Jesse, what's today's category, and what caller would you like?
Entering the Lion's Den.
Ooh, clever.
Is today's category. Questions about lion things, I guess.
What? That was so good right up to the questions
people
about
that lie?
No, like fictional
things.
lions, I guess you could go with, like, lions.
Is there anything biblical in this? Because I was going to give away a biblical clue. I just don't want to make sure I give it.
There was going to be, and then I didn't know how to come up with the question best for it, so I avoided it.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So you can do whatever you want on that front. I don't know. Caller 10. Jordan Love needs big.
Very clever. All right, caller 10 right now for Wilde and Tausch Trivia. 844-770-3776. 844.
We want an out-of-stater? Are we begging for out-of-staters?
I'm not begging. I'm not begging for them.
All participants are welcome. Out-of-state contestants are ineligible. And right now, Brad and Baraboo with only one question correct on Monday, has the only 2 entries in the helmet for the drawing, which takes place tomorrow.
Now I'm not going to lie. I kind of want an out-of-state contestant just so bad. He's the only one in the bucket.
He didn't know Taylor Swift was at the Chiefs game on Sunday.
But he may win by default. All right. Hey, wherever you're calling from, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Caller 10 right now for trivia. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Get your watches out.
This is not a secret. I want a chance to go for it.
It's game time, Milwaukee.
Lillard slithering and oh, what a shot!
Giannis
attacks the rack, sends it down with a grown man dunk. Launches and connects again. Oh, baby, he's on a heater.
Damian Lillard.
That is a bomb. He got it. Damian Lillard with confidence oozing out of his veins.
The next Bucks era is here. React with us. 94.5 ESPN.
Looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this football season? Well, test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projection for a wide variety of statistics, and place your entry. It's as simple as that. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and an enormous selection of players and stat options are what make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Ready to test your skills? Join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million football fans who have already signed up. And right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/WI and use code WI. That's code WI at prizepicks.com/WI for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. If you're in the market for a full-size 8-passenger SUV, look no further than the Defender 130. And with the Defender 90, the 110, and this 130, there's luxury in the right size for everyone. And now is the best time to take advantage of a great offer like this.
For a limited time, get 3.9% special APR rate for up to 60 months on new 2023 Defenders at Land Rover Waukesha. Go to LandRoverWaukesha.com.
Fleet Fest is kicking off this Friday for 3 days only at Fleet Farm. Find in-store only deals on top brands and fall favorites, like 10% off select hunting gear, power tools, and wild bird feed. And get 20% off select workwear and fishing gear. Plus, mark your calendars for free pumpkin painting this Saturday only from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. Don't miss deals and fun for everyone in the family this weekend at Fleet Fest. We have what you need for your everyday life. Fleet Farm.
This Brewers Top Moment is presented by Network Health.
June 6, 2023, with the Brewers and Orioles tied at 3 apiece in the bottom of the 10th inning. Facing 2 outs with runners on first and second, it was Joey Wiemer, the Brewers rookie, coming through with the game-winning hit.
Breaking ball hammered down the left field line. This ball is going to one-hop the wall, and this game is over. Joey Wiemer with his second walk-off of the season, and the Brewers
This Brewers Top Moment is presented by Network Health.
Hi, I'm John McGivern. If you're looking for a Medicare plan with freedom and flexibility, choose a Network Health Medicare Advantage plan. Plans start as low as $0 a month with $0 doctor visits and $0 prescription drugs, plus vision, hearing, and dental benefits. For 40 years, Network Health has been a trusted expert in making health insurance affordable and understandable. Don't wait. Call 833-7-NETWORK today.
Sharpen your investment and retirement strategy at the Annex Wealth Management Navigating the Markets presentation. What are the headwinds for portfolios in excess of $1 million? Will the long-awaited recession actually happen? And what can you do to calibrate your portfolio? Navigating the Markets takes place October 5th at the Sharon Lynn Wilson Center for the Arts in Brookfield. This premier event is open to everyone. Complete details and sign up at annexwealth.com/events. The American economy is at a critical juncture. What's next? Join us for Navigating the Markets from Annex Wealth Management.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Tito's Handmade Vodka, America's original craft vodka produced in Austin, Texas, and naturally gluten-free. Tito's Handmade Vodka.
Mr. DJ,
I can't lie. I'm conflicted. Because you know that I love first-time contestants. It means we're expanding our footprint. It means people are excited. It means people are playing trivia that haven't played before. You know that, right, Jesse? I love them.
Nothing better than a first-time contestant.
Well, now I've decided that there is something better. A first-time contestant from out of state, exactly.
I disagree, because the out-of-state contestant is ineligible to win the prize pack, while an in-state
but that
first-time
just tells you
contestant...
how much... That tells you how much they love playing, though.
Yeah, exactly. They're playing for the love of the game. Right, exactly. So, I am still very excited for Paul in one of Tausch's favorite cities, Fond du Lac, or how do you say it, Tausch? Fond du Lac. Fond du Lac. There's some that say the DU as J. Fond du Lac. Let's find out what Paul says as a first-time contestant. Paul, how do you say your town?
It's Fond du Lac.
Yeah, right, exactly. Are you proud of your town?
It's a hard D.
Yeah.
It's a hard D.
He's proud of his town.
Whoa, Nelly!
All right, Paul, we're happy to have you. I don't want you to feel like I'm disappointed that you're the contestant, but there's a tiny bit of me that is disappointed that you live in Fond du Lac.
I'm thrilled to be talking to you, Jason, so that's cool.
Well played, sir. Well played. All right, here we go.
All right, Paul. I don't know what this category is. It's either someone that lies a lot or something about a lion, so we'll just go along and figure it out. In the legendary musical The Wizard of Oz, what does the lion intend to ask for as a gift from the wizard? Is it courage?
Courage.
A brain? Yeah, you nailed it.
Oh, man.
I love the fact that Paul not only zinged me, but now ruined Jesse's third answer for question one,
Paul's off to a
which he
good
was
start.
excited. Yeah,
a solid RB2
No, you don't. No. If we don't get to it, you don't get to read it.
It
sorry.
doesn't get to it. Yeah, you
Yeah,
won.
Zeke Elliott.
Yeah, sorry. Thanks for playing, though. All right, here we go, Paul. Question 2. Which of these media studios features a roaring lion as part of its logo included in its productions?
Was that you roaring, Tausch?
Yeah, that was my roar.
Either that or he's a little bit congested. All right, which one of these studios has a lion as part of its logo? Is it DreamWorks, MGM, or Paramount?
MGM.
Well, I was confident.
It was, and correct. Well done.
That's Fond du Lac,
Jack
baby.
Palazzi.
That's how people are. That's how people are in Fond du Lac. Yep.
Out of his town. You know, that's a damn rare thing these days.
All right, question
Paul,
three.
are you a Walleye Weekend? Are you a big Walleye Weekend guy then, or is that being from?
Oh,
Fond du
heck
Lac?
yeah. I do a lot of volunteer with my Knights of Columbus. We have a tent out there.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
Would
we
you
have
like
a lot of
Tausch
fun
to
with that.
attend? Would you like Tausch to work the tent at some point?
I would. I've been once,
up.
and I'd love to go back. I love Fond du Lac. You guys know that. All right, last one. Which
Tausch,
of these
you're my
actors
idol.
has? I love Fond du Lac. I mention all these other cities. Fond du Lac, love it. Which of these actors, Theo's Supper Club up there, it's beautiful. Which of these actors has not provided the voice of Simba in either the 1994 or 2019 versions of Disney's The Lion King? Is it Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Donald Glover, or Matthew Broderick?
Damn, Matthew Broderick. Oh, thanks.
No idea on this one. Yeah, this is a ridiculous question.
So Matthew Broderick in 1994, Donald Glover in 2019.
Is that Dan Glover's brother?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who is Robin, theoretically, in The Dark Knight Rises, is the correct answer. He was not Simba. That was tough. No doubt about it. All right,
Wait,
Paul.
Donald Glover, no relation to Dan Glover. Is that fair?
First of all, has anyone ever called Danny Glover Dan Glover?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I think he goes by Danny. I'll fact check that for you.
How about Leroy Glover?
They are not related. Can confirm.
I don't trust you on that.
And populationally, the cities that they live in are different. Paul,
hey, guys, before Paul goes, who's going to be closer? How many folks live in Fond du Lac? Jesse, take a guess.
Oh, boy. They're Division I football, so it's populationally seems... I'm going to go 21,000.
Jason?
I think it's way bigger than that. I'm going to say 90,000.
Okay, I'm going to guess 44,000. Paul, who's closest?
You are right on the money there, Mark.
Oh, yes.
Did you drive through and see the sign?
That is why you're on my idol.
God, you're a cheater.
I just told you I love Fond du Lac. What did you want me to say? Of course I know. I'm not cheating in
Fond du Lac loves Tausch.
Great job, Paul. You get... How many entries did Paul get there? 3? I'm going to give him a 4th entry.
You're not. No, you're not.
Works.
ESPNWisconsinContest.com, which has been quite the place this week.
Got a lot of traffic. Yeah, okay. Hey, Paul, thanks for playing. We appreciate you, buddy. Thank you.
Hey, it was a pleasure. Thank you very much.
That was fun. Paul was fun. And he lives in the state, so he's eligible to win the prize pack when Jesse draws for it tomorrow. I know today's show feels a little Friday-ish, but it's not.
It really was. 44,595 is the Fond du Lac population.
Yeah, no, he clearly cheated. Right, yes.
How did I cheat?
You saw the sign. You pretended you were guessing, and then you said 44,000.
I never once pretended I was guessing. Not one time did I say it was
I believe you said at the beginning of the question, guess what the population is.
Yeah, you guys guess. Yeah.
And then you guessed, and then, I was right. Wow.
Don't be hating on Fond du Lac, people.
We're not hating Fond du Lac. We're hating on you.
Fond du Lac's great.
All right, that is Wilde and Tausch Trivia. Thanks
Home of the dock spiders.
Fond du Lac, Goodrich, and then you have St. Mary Springs. A lot of Division I athletes out of Fond du Lac as well. Corey Raymer, Fond du Lac guy. Eric Weissenen, inventor of the jump around, Fond du Lac guy. Eric Grams, tight end, Fond du Lac guy. You want to keep going, or are we good?
Now that you've
Sam Mueller, Fond du Lac guy.
Congratulations. Now you've gotten 4 out of the 44,678 residents. So just keep on going with all the rest of them.
We got to get the Chippewa Falls.
All right, that is trivia. We need our Steinhafels sleepers of the week. Those are next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Take it to the house this season and enjoy tailgating from your own backyard. Tito's wants to make sure you have the best tailgate on the block. You can win game day gear for your next gathering by entering to win at Tito'sTailgate.com. Be sure to enter by November 15th for your chance to win a Solo Stove Grill, a Brewmate back tap for batch cocktails, or a Tito's football jersey. For official rules, visit Tito'sTailgate.com. Must be 21 years old to enter. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Hey, it's ESPN Wisconsin's Jason Wilde, and for years and years, I've been telling you about Boucher Automotive and how they ride with us and you every mile. But over the past year, Boucher has been hard at work improving their sales processes, expanding and remodeling their facilities, and investing in new technology and continuing their commitment to better serving their customers, their employees, and their community. And that's why at Boucher, when their customers leave the dealership, they hope they've made a customer for life. With 20 locations throughout southeastern Wisconsin and 30 brands, they've got thousands of new and used vehicles for you to choose from. They are proud to be your Wisconsin family dealership group since 1977. So check them out at Boucher.com.
It's time for the Ortho ASAP Minute from Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
I'm here with Dr. Sam Steiner. How much do you enjoy being able to help someone through really the entire process of coming back from an injury?
I mean, I think it's something very special. It's something I look forward to every day, being able to wake up, see people from the time they're injured, and then take them all the way through the process of explaining what they've had done, taking care of them, in some cases operating on them, and then afterwards being able to see the recovery and see them get back to where they want to be.
It seems to me that there is a strong connection between patient and doctor here. Why is that?
Many of us grew up in the area. We went to high schools that we now take care of. I think it's really unique and special that we can take care of people we went to school with, their families, friends of our parents at our facility. It holds you accountable. They can literally say, hey, if you don't do a good job, I'm going to tell your mom. We really have something very special and unique here at OAW.
The Ortho ASAP Minute is sponsored by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
It's a city from a fairy tale on the Mediterranean Sea.
Netanya, the city of diamonds.
And in this city of diamonds lived a crazy genius named Moses Hadara.
Moses was a mathematician,
a diamond cutter,
and a bit of a theoretical physicist.
Albert Einstein devised a formula, E equals MC squared.
Albert's formula unleashed the power locked inside an atom.
Moses' formula unleashed the power locked inside a diamond.
Moses began with star facets,
kite facets,
upper girdle facets,
lower girdle facets,
and pavilion facets.
But then a voice told him to add 24 new facets, the Moses facets.
When he cut the final one,
Shazam!
Moses unleashed an explosion of light.
That dazzling diamond is known today as the Kessler 81.
See it for yourself.
See it for yourself.
See it for yourself.
At Kessler's.
To find the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Brian, why are you stacking books on the floor?
I want to stand while I work. Standing desks are all the rage these days.
Well, it's a good thing that these desks move up and down. You did know that, right?
What? They do?
Yeah, we're not messing around here.
This is great. Now, only if I had a chair to swivel around in.
Do you just not pay attention to everybody else's desks?
Well, no wonder I'm not getting much done these days.
Coakley Brothers and Brothers Interiors, the official moving and furniture provider of GKB Milwaukee.
With a local Milwaukee team, Fifth Third Bank knows what success looks like. They've been serving businesses and individuals in the area for nearly 15 years, including a long-standing commitment to the healthcare industry. From expansion to technology to reducing the risk of fraud, Fifth Third offers a full suite of financial services and solutions across the healthcare spectrum to meet the complex moments you're navigating. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals, member FDIC.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Tito's Handmade Vodka, America's original craft vodka produced in Austin, Texas, and naturally gluten-free. Tito's Handmade Vodka.
Time now for our Steinhafels Sleepers of the Week, presented by Steinhafels. I was teasing Chad Dern and John and everybody that was there, Andrew Steinhafel, when we did our show there last week. Was that last Thursday? Was that a week ago today?
It was.
Yeah, it was
That was super fun.
Yep.
And the donuts were great from Greenbush Bakery next door. I was teasing them, though, that they kept extending the Labor Day sale. It's been extended! Then it ended when we got there. Well, today is the last day for their Buy More, Save More sale. At Steinhafels, it is your final chance to take an extra $100, $200, or $300 off, depending on how much you spend on your purchase. You can buy now and pay over 6 years. 6 years. With Steinhafels' special 72-month financing. Steinhafels has something for everyone. You know that. Jesse's still waiting for his shuffleboard. Shop in-store or online at steinhafels.com. Time now for our Steinhafels Sleepers of the Week.
Don't sleep, you gotta stay up.
Hey there, sleepyhead. Wakey, wakey.
Okay, campers, rise and shine.
It's time for the Steinhafels Sleepers of the Week on Wilde and Tausch.
It is time for the Steinhafels Sleepers of the Week. Jesse, who was last week's winner?
Tausch wins last week by picking Luke Musgrave. Had a decent game.
Oh, good game from my guy.
Compared to Darnell Savage and A.J. Dillon, who did not do a whole lot of anything, and actually were two of the negatives, I think, that we pointed out in Monday's positives and negatives.
A.J. Dillon is struggling. There's no doubt about that. He's definitely sleeper eligible. And the offensive line has not made things easier on him either. All right, Tausch, you get to pick first.
Okay, I always want to go with. Is Christian Watson available for this? Is he a sleeper?
Well, I mean, he's not on the cover of Madden yet, so I suppose theoretically he would be.
Theoretically, well, I'm going on the other side of the ball, anyways. I just wanted to get a rise out of you guys. Tonight is a big time. You need a big game out of your guys up front. Stopping the run, making plays in the backfield. The attention that is going to be paid to Rashawn Gary after last week's performance is going to be high. You're not going to be able to, and with what Kenny Clark has been doing, if I'm the O-line coach and the coordinator for the Detroit Lions, I'm sliding protections. I am helping out with my center over on old 9-7. And you know who that leaves? My guy. Why it's so hard to be a Steinhafels sleeper? Why it's so hard to make plays in the backfield? Why it been so difficult to make that jump from year 1 to year 2? Well, why it not us? Tonight, Thursday night, Amazon Prime game, Devontae Wyatt, my Steinhafler of the Thursday night game. I think he's going to have a big game tonight. I am thinking bigly for Devontae Wyatt.
We need to seriously have a conversation about how we decide what qualifies as a sleeper. Like, if we're playing,
you don't think Devontae Wyatt's a sleeper?
He's a first-round pick. Like, I think when we invented this, we were thinking about guys, and in theory, if we do this correctly and truly pick sleepers every week, guys in the 30 to 48 range of the roster, there should be weeks where no one wins because none of them, a sleeper implies not someone of renown. I am picking Isaiah McDuffie. I am putting my flag in the sand.
Tonight? Is he going to be active?
Yeah, he's going to probably start in place of Devondre Campbell.
That's a smart pick.
But okay. I think we need, you're going to say you were kidding, but not really, because he hasn't played, so he hasn't played all season. He's been sleeping all season. That Christian Watson should be allowed.
Yeah, but I didn't take him. Here's the deal, Jason.
What's the deal with the Steinhafels sleepers of the week?
He has not made a huge impact yet in this season, so he's eligible. That's how I look at this.
I'd like to maintain the stance that I have had since this has come into question. I believe all players are eligible to be sleepers of the week. It just varies in the metrics of what their performance would need to be.
They have to do more. Yes,
so Christian Watson's eligible to be a sleeper if he has 15 catches for 250 yards.
Exactly.
Then he wins
Samori
the sleeper.
Toure, he catches a tutter. That's more than if Christian Watson catches 2 and has 85 yards receiving. It's all scaled. It's all scaled.
Okay. All right, Devontae. Jesse, who you picking?
Rudy Ford.
Sleeper.
Someone's got to pick off Jared Goff tonight if they're going to win this game. Turnovers. I hear turnovers are important for winning games.
He hasn't thrown a pick. He finally threw a pick last week, but he was ready to break records with that no-pick rule.
Rudy Ford, let's get one. Prime time Rudy Ford. He seems to step up when they're playing under the lights at Lambeau Field. Remember that Cowboys game last year? Let's see it, Rudy. Let's get a big one in clutch time tonight.
It's my guy. Yes. Rudy. All right, Tausch, since now we've got our Steinhafels sleepers of the weekend, and you can share yours as well. Jesse will tweet those out, and I know the Steinhafels social media team always likes to chime in. Let me ask you this. How good do you think the Lions really are? Because there seems to be a faction of people that don't want to acknowledge that they're better because they're the Detroit Lions, right? And the Detroit Lions, we were talking earlier in the week about words that have different connotations. I would say that the Detroit Lions brand is ineptitude, right? Disappointment. They're just never good enough, right? Not a title since '57 and Bobby Lane and everything else. There's also seems to be a faction that is so infatuated with Dan Campbell and biting kneecaps and everything else, that they think they're better than I think the Lions actually are either. So you, as someone who knows the game and can take emotion out of it when it comes to a team that you don't root for, how good do you think the Lions really are?
Yeah, I think they're pretty good. I've always been a doubter of Jared Goff, but he has proven to be a very, adequate quarterback in the NFL. He's not a superstar, but he is somebody that you can win with. And why I like what Detroit has done is they have kind of went to we need to get tougher and better up front, and they've done that. Their offensive line is good. So for everybody that says, well, Green Bay's D-line, they got after the Bears. The Bears' O-line's not very good. We knew that. Last week, New Orleans got a pretty good offensive line. Green Bay got after it. So tonight, this is going to be who's better. Detroit is built to win. I think they've built a really strong football team. They have a couple of guys that they're going to want to be able to play a little bit more than, with Williams not playing and some of their skill guys that are not available. Mm-hmm. But they've built their football team in what I think is a pretty smart way. Mm-hmm. And they've done it with just hard work, grit, Miami Heat style. The Detroit Lions would be the Miami Heat right now of the NFL. Grit, toughness. They don't have a superstar. Who's their superstar? They don't have.
Get Evan back on the phone. Jesse,
to answer your question, Detroit is in a higher. Green Bay and Detroit are both tier 2 right now. Detroit would be a little bit ahead just based off of past experience. But Green Bay, with a win tonight, they jump them. That's how big of a game. Tonight's game, psychologically, I think is a monster for both teams. And I think it's more important for the Detroit Lions. And I don't know if Jesse put that poll on the field. I would imagine most Packer fans feel the same way.
Jesse, as a avid fan of the city of Detroit, that you road tripped there for a game
pizza.
Once upon a time?
It's great in January, and I wouldn't know about the pizza. We never got the pizza when we were
That is still unbelievable.
It's a big miss. A lot of places not open on Sunday on January 9th, 2022, or whatever that was. Yeah.
That was 2022, yes. It was the end of the 21 season. And the start of the Packers' 3-game losing streak against the Detroit Lions as well. So good work there. How do you view the Lions before we move on? Because you've watched the Lions more closely than anyone, at least in person.
So, not really. Although I sat next to Sweaty Kyle, the Lions fan at Ford Field.
Sweaty Kyle.
Yeah, he was very sweaty, but he was a big Lions fan. I riled him up quite a bit, saying, I think Calvin Johnson was kind of overrated. He didn't like that. The Lions have had the Packers' number. And it goes back to, when was the game? Was it 2016 when the Lions came to Lambeau and beat the Packers, and everybody's sitting around like, what the heck just happened? One of those, 2016, 17, one of those years, they came in October and beat the Packers in Green Bay. It was just surprising. And ever since then, I've viewed the Lions as a legitimate foe for the Green Bay Packers. They've had their ups and downs as an organization, but they play the Packers tough every time. And especially, obviously, they've won 3 in a row against us, the Green Bay Packers. And I don't believe in the Lions as a legitimate contender until they prove it, because they have failed year after year after year in that sense. But just in a game against the Green Bay Packers, they seem to get up for this game better than we do. So a fast start, I think, is important tonight, and I think they're a legitimate NFC North contender. But I can't say that they're a legitimate NFC playoff picture. They could make a deep run until they prove it, because they're the Lions.
All right, a couple of fact checks there. That was 2017 that you're thinking of.
Okay.
They came in and won. It was the first time the Packers had lost to them in Wisconsin in 20 years.
Forever, yeah.
But Aaron Rodgers was out. It was a couple weeks after he'd broken his collarbone at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, so that might have factored into the outcome there. I can't argue with the fact that they, quote-unquote, have the Packers' number the last couple of games. I don't think either one of those wins was especially impressive, though. They won in Detroit, 15-9, and Rodgers threw 2 red zone interceptions. I mean, to me, The Packers have given away both of last year's games to this team.
Yeah, but they stole 2 games the year before when they didn't lead at all.
Yeah,
so
good point. Bring that up. Yeah.
Great point. Yep. Yeah, great point. So I think the Packers have
Jason, correct me if I'm wrong. I firmly believe that the Detroit Lions have went to the Barry Alvarez school of thought. And they have said, listen, we're a blue-collar town, as Jesse knows, vacationing there as much as he has. We are going to build a tougher, more physical version of NFL teams, and we are going to bully ball the Green Bay Packers. That's their approach. We'll find out tonight if this team is tougher than what they were last year, because last year we got bully balled. Now look at how the game played. They bully balled us.
Yeah, you're right.
They're going to try and bully ball us again. That's Dan Campbell's mantra. And I think he thinks they're tougher and more physical than the Green Bay Packers. And I think this group is different, especially on the D-line.
So you don't think he's
ain't
right?
Taking no prisoners.
You don't think he's right?
I do not think he's right. I think that this D-line got more tough, and I think they got more athletic. But the Detroit Lions think we're the toughest hombres in town. We're going to come and we're going to maul you. That's what they think they're best at.
Yeah, you're right.
And I don't know if they think Green Bay can hold up. That's, I think, the mantra of what Detroit's doing. And we'll see who's right.
No, great parallel. I think your analysis is right on, and we're going to find out a lot about the Packers tonight. And toughness is part of that equation, but I do think they've got a lot of young guys that I don't think are afraid of anything, and they've got some blank talkers in their back end. Now, one of them, if Jair doesn't play, that does change things.
Oh, he'll still talk, though.
But that's
Jair
true.
You bet he'll still be John.
Doesn't carry quite as much when you're doing it in street clothes on the sideline, though.
Probably not.
But Rasul Douglas brings attitude. They've got attitude. We'll find out if that attitude helps their cause tonight. All right, we need to get to our Survivor picks so we don't forget again. That was pathetic.
Yeah,
Jesse, we got to be better than that.
It was bad.
I actually think that that might have been a sign.
Yeah, you both are still alive because we forgot last.
I think it might be a sign that that segment sucks.
Are you saying you don't want to do it?
No, we're doing it.
Yeah. That is what I'm saying. Jesse didn't want to do it last week. Now what? You can't do a Survivor pool and take a week off. That's not how Survivor works.
We can.
It's donezo. It's done. I think it is done. So
chop its arm off.
Come on.
Done.
All right. Well,
come on.
Maybe we'll pick a game. Maybe we won't. You'll find out next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
The Bucks have traded for Damian Lillard.
Lillard, long range three, and it's good at the buzzer. Damian Lillard.
React to the trade with us. 94.5 ESPN. The Crusaders are back under the lights on Friday night.
He's at the 30, 25, 20. They're not going to catch him. 15, 10, 5, touchdown, M.J. Mitchell.
Catholic Memorial takes on Pius High School on Friday. Our coverage with Gabe Neitzel and Mike Podol starts at 6:30. Catholic Memorial Football on 94.5 ESPN is brought to you by the Bray Team at Shore West, Gerald Nell Inc., Windatzer Balloon Promotions, Mid-City Sports, Suburban Asphalt, Perspire Sauna Studio, Edge Leadership, and Urchel Real Estate Group.
Ewald Automotive is extending Labor Day savings to bring you employee pricing all month long. Save big and pay like you're part of the team. Ewald can't be beat on price, guaranteed. We're passing huge Ewald employee savings on over 1,000 new and pre-owned vehicles. Go long with Ewald's exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. You've worked hard this season. Get the savings you deserve today.
Go to EwaldAuto.com.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
This Badger Minute brought to you by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. Hop in or hop online at uwcu.org to join. Only 2 college football teams have a kicker that is a perfect 7 for 7 on field goals through 4 weeks of the season. Alabama and Wisconsin. Nathaniel Vakos, a transfer from the University of Ohio, has made his first 7 field goals of the season and was honored this week as the Big Ten Special Teams Player of the Week after hitting 3 of those against Purdue last Friday. Vakos becomes the first Wisconsin player to earn that honor since Colin Larsh won it after going 3 for 3 on field goals against Purdue in 2021.
Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, pay as low as $19 a month per window or $75 per month on patio doors. Visit PellaWI.com.
Gabe, where do you think our group should be taking our golf trip next year?
Jason, I don't know. Do you have time to figure it all out and get all the reservations made? I certainly don't.
Not really. I mean, I'm so busy. If I only knew somebody to call that might do all the work for us.
Oh, I know about Wisconsin Golf Trips. Their main business is booking groups from around the world to play all the great courses in our state, but they're now doing outbound trips for groups each year to places like Michigan, Minnesota, and Nevada. Plus, Wisconsin Golf Trips is even booking custom packages for Scotland and Ireland.
Oh, wow. Let's hit them up.
WisconsinGolfTrips.com.
Get your game on at the Island Resort and Casino with first-round picks of your favorite slots and table games. Bring friends and watch your favorite team compete on big screens. Grab game day eats in T. McSee's Sports Bar or celebrate your team's victory in Horizon's Steakhouse. To book your game time at the Island Resort and Casino, call 800-682-6040 today.
Life's better with an auto policy from American Family Insurance. No matter what dreams you're driving towards. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto coverage at the right price. You'll also save up to 23% when you bundle auto with home. American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
It takes a team to meet just about any goal, and that's as true on the football field as it is in the office. So it's good to know that you have the Gordon Flesch Company on your side. For more than 60 years, GFC has provided cutting-edge office technology for companies of all sizes, and as the nation's largest Canon dealer, GFC delivers the latest office technology, serviced, and is supported by the most experienced professionals in the industry. That's business technology managed. Visit gflesh.com to learn more.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
But I need more than myself this time. Step from the road to the sea to the sky, and I do believe.
All right, so are we doing this or not?
I don't know how, Jason. I don't think you can do a Survivor pool.
I don't think you can miss a
every
week.
You have to survive in advance. That's like saying Duke is in the Sweet 16, and they said, we're not going to play this week, and we'll just see you in the Final Four.
Right, they played in the first round, but then they got a bye in the second round into the Sweet 16.
That happened
during
the COVID year. One team couldn't play. Was it Oregon moved on or something? Yeah.
No. What I just said was the right analogy. You guys, I love it when you guys correct me, but what I said was correct.
You're right.
Guys,
I didn't
so
correct
I don't
you.
think you can.
No, we screwed this up.
I don't believe it.
Also, Jesse lost the first week.
Jesse stinks. He's out.
Seattle. Haven't lost since, I don't think.
And if we're going to do Survivor, we do it on Fridays. We don't do it on Thursdays just because we're not picking the Packers.
There's a game Thursday night you could pick. I would have taken San Fran last week against the Giants. No Barkley. I would have taken that game.
You would have.
By the way, among the games this week, because I was looking in case we did do this, the 0-3 Vikings at the 0-3 Panthers, or the 0-3 Broncos at the 0-3 Bears.
It is a terrible weekend of football. If you ever wanted to
I
get anything
disagree
done.
more. No, Jesse. No, it is not. You have two of the best games going in the NFL this weekend. You have Miami at Buffalo. That will be obviously tonight's game is monstrous for NFC North playoff positioning, excitement level. Miami at Buffalo is going to be one of the games of the whole season.
Were you about to say the decade?
What are you guys talking about?
It did sound like he was going to say that. Yes.
It sounded
I did not say decade. I said
the decade.
Guys, Miami is in a position now. The way they're dominating, they win at Buffalo. You're going to have to start digging to find where they're going to be dogs. Now, I'm not saying they're going to be the 72 Dolphins. I'm not. But I'm saying if they win this game, other people are going to start saying that.
All right. Do you think from a national profile, Packers-Lions, is as big as you just made it out to be? I mean, it's enormous.
This
here.
game will do. Let me say this.
Let me hear you out.
This game will do the biggest prime numbers of the season so far.
There's been 2 other Thursday games.
This is
and
the
one
third
was
week.
the Giants.
This is the third week.
49ers.
Yeah, those are 2 monster markets, Jesse. Now, what are you talking about? Detroit and Green Bay are 2 of the smallest markets in the country.
All right. Well, first of all, if you had said this before Aaron Rodgers ruptured his Achilles about this week's schedule, Chiefs at Jets with Mahomes against Rodgers would have been epic.
Cowboys
and
Patriots.
Really fun.
It's a terrible
You don't think
game.
that's intriguing?
No.
The Cowboys just lost to the Cardinals, who are trying to lose, and the Patriots are 1-2, and the only team they beat was the team that's quarterbacked by Zach Wilson, that they probably would not have beaten if Aaron Rodgers was healthy.
I'm close to putting Cleveland up at the top of tier 2. I like me the Cleveland Browns this year, too.
Bengals,
They're
Titans.
playing Baltimore. Baltimore, Cleveland, another sneaky great game this weekend. I think you guys are nuts.
I'm taking your Saints.
I'm taking the Cowboys out of spite. I'm taking the Cowboys. They're going to win 55-10 over New England in that afternoon slot.
All right. Well, so
Well, I won one of those immunity bracelet deals, and I advanced next week without having to pick. That's what I did.
I think we had last week was all the immunity
Yeah, we all
bracelets.
had immunity last. They do that on Survivor every now and then, where no one gets voted out.
But you got voted off the island in week 1.
Yeah, I didn't.
You shouldn't even be here.
I'm playing for fun. You guys can play for
Here's
real.
the deal.
Out-of-state trivia
I will
contestant.
do this game again next week if all of us have a torch that we're carrying. We need to have a lit torch where we're carrying it.
I'm
Then,
not
like an
lighting
Olympic
a torch in my house.
I don't care. That's what I want for
How
us
about
to
a candle?
continue to do this.
Can I hold a candle? Would that be good enough for you?
I don't know. Elton John might have something to say to you about that.
Candle in the wind. All right, we need to kick off the 11 o'clock hour.
Now I got to talk to HR about having fire on our video broadcast. This could be a whole thing. Just to
I don't want to
Survivor.
get banned on YouTube again. We just finally got back onto it. All right. We need
Who
to do
does
the 11
Arizona play? Who's Arizona got this week?
San Francisco.
Yes.
Boy, I don't want to waste San Francisco this early, though.
You just established we're not playing.
Pick a game. Pick one.
Let's pick them tomorrow. Let's sleep on it and decide
There's
whether
no
we're
way
going
we're
to do
going
it
to
tomorrow.
remember. Packers are going to win on a Hail Mary tonight, and there's no way we're going to talk about the Survivor picks
All right,
tomorrow.
well, we'll talk about it. I need to talk about Grubeloffs, as David has become a good friend and a trusted advisor when I have a legal question. I am fortunate that I have not needed his representation or his firm's representation because I've been seriously injured in an accident. I hope that never happens, but it's great to know that they are there and they are fighting for us. So check them out online, gruber-law.com. That's gruber-law.com, or give them a call. One call. That's all. 414-276-6666. 414-276-6666. Gruberloff says one call. That's all. The 11 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes, so stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and Michelle Smallman.
How long does this window have with Miami? Jimmy Butler is 34 years old.
They should have made
They're
a
not
deal.
good enough to win a title.
You're
They're
right.
not good enough to beat whoever comes out of the West.
And they
They're
should have
not.
done it. They should
They're
have
not
made a deal.
close.
You're right.
So
Everything
even if
you're
they get to the finals, they're not close. I don't think they're going to get to the finals, but they're not close. They don't have the talent that the Boston Celtics do. They don't have the talent that the Milwaukee Bucks do. The Miami Heat are not close. The Dame Lillard trade would put them on par with all of those teams, but they didn't get him.
Everything you're saying is fair, but they didn't have the
So
talent.
what's the point? It's
Because
not,
we've
what you
seen
want?
it the other way.
You want a participation trophy? Oh, we got close?
No, but
we've been in 2 finals over the last 4 years. Great.
That's better than
And
a lot of
you
other
lost
teams.
in 5 and you lost in 6. You're not close.
And Cece, the point that I'm making is, I believe in them. Is yesterday a bad day for them? Yes. Should they have probably pulled the trigger on a Dame deal? Yes. But I trust Pat Riley.
At the Home Depot, Saturdays are about 2 things. Easy cleanup with the Ryobi 18-volt ONE+ Whisper Series leaf blower.
And football.
That's right, Reese Davis. With variable speed, it has the power for when you really need it and just the right amount when you don't. And the OnePlus battery platform means you go from yard work to DIY in just a click, so you can get projects done faster.
Which means more time for football.
For football. Upgrade your Saturday with Ryobi and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Yo, 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 what's up, party people? I'm Julie Foudy.
And I'm Lynn Ozawi.
We host the ESPN podcast Laughter Permitted, where we have candid chats with trailblazing women in sports and beyond.
We've talked with goats like Billie Jean King, Simone Biles, Mia Hamm, Sue Bird, Candace Parker, Michaela Schifrin, just to name a few.
So grab a donut or 500 and check us out wherever you get your podcasts. And a huge shout out to our presenting sponsor, Ally, who has supported us since day one. It's Laughter Permitted.
Marquette Hall of Famer Tony Smith here. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Begins now, and it does not begin with the survivor pool, which we may or may not be restarting, but it does begin with something we do each Packers game, and that is our prize picks of the night. Ooh. Still the best music we play on the show.
It's good stuff. Yeah, I agree.
Prize picks of the night. These are real projections from our friends over at Prize Picks. I've been in a little bit of a slump. I'm hoping to get back on track, so I'll take your advice on some of these here today.
Every time we do that, you then do even worse.
No, you guys are pretty good for
we usually
Prize
win.
Picks.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm going to trust you guys today. Let's start with Jordan Love. We usually start with the Packers quarterback when we do the Prize Picks of the week. Jordan Love, more or less, Tausch, you mentioned this one yesterday, 16.5 rushing yards for Jordan Love.
Yeah, I early in the season, it was 12.5 against the Chicago Bears, and Old T came up a half a yard short. Jordan with 12 yards rushing, so Old T wasn't real happy about that. When you start looking at 16.5, that means 2 scrambles. But you have to always keep in mind, kneel downs, you lose a yard.
Victory formation.
And that's the sneaky part. So do you think they're going to win the game? You have to factor all this in when you're making your prize picks. But I think Jordan Love has wisely decided to get out and run a little bit. I think that adds another layer to his game. And I think with Hutch rushing and flushing, I think he's going to get out of the pocket. I think he's going to get more than the 16.5. I think he has 130-yard rush that breaks things open, and that's what's going to get it. I think he's going to have a 30. He had a 26-yarder last week.
24 yards.
Yeah.
And he had a 24-yarder the week before that. And
that's 48 right there.
Thank you. Simple math with Uncle Tausch. Couple things. One, you did not lose yardage on kneel downs the week that you lost with the Bears because Sean Clifford handled the kneel downs. Will tonight's game be too close for Sean Clifford to be kneeling out a victory? I would say yes. It'll be too close. So if there is some kneel downage, I think you're right. I think it's going to be Jordan Love. Secondly, after Tausch lost on 12.5 rushing yards, the last 2 games, Jordan Love's rushing numbers, 2 for 23 9 for 39. So the trend would indicate with 27 rushes, including kneel downs, for 100 yards on the season, he's going to go over 16.5. More for me.
We both
as
are on
well.
board.
All right, lock it
up. Yep.
Now see, what do we go with it? How about Jared Goff, more or less than 254.5 passing yards? 254.5.
0.5. Okay, that definitely makes me go less. Jared Goff's not a dynamic 300-yard guy. What are you shaking your head about?
That was the whole
so
0.5 joke
snarky.
there. That was snarky. Yes.
There's nothing
totally
snarky.
Yeah.
You thought that was snarky?
No, I didn't think it was.
Snarky it is. I think it's going to be a run the ball. Is Green Bay going to give up a big play? Old boy ain't playing. He's got a gambling suspension, I think is why he's out, right? Jameson Williams, I think that's why he's not playing.
I wasn't sure which old boy you were talking about. He's kind of a young boy, actually. He's kind of a newer guy. But yeah, he's out. He's 6 games he's got for his suspension.
So if he's playing, I think that big play threat, the big chunk, I don't think this is going to be that kind of game. I go less. I think he's going to be in that 215 to 230 range. So less for Goff.
Jesse, what was that number again with the 0.5 at the end?
254.5.
All right. Would you like to know through 3 games what Jared Goff's passing totals have been?
Of course. That would help.
Of course.
Well, Jason, just for people that are on the Prize Picks app, you can push that button. I just learned this about a year ago. You push that button to the far right, and it gives you trend lines.
Last 5.
Which is always nice.
Gives you the last 5.
In week 1, he threw for 253 yards in their win in Kansas City. In week 2, in their loss in overtime against Seattle at home, he threw for 323 yards. Last week against Atlanta in their win over the Falcons, 243 yards. So I would say this. I think if he hits the more, the Packers lost. Because it means that he's generating some big plays. And I don't think they necessarily need to if they run the ball effectively, but it's going to set up some play action. And if he's going to hit a big play downfield and they go for 254.5 passing yards for him, it means that the Packers lost. So I'm going to go fewer as well.
That's interesting. My logic would go the other way. If the Lions are losing, they're going to throw more in the second.
Yeah, because
half.
I don't think the Packers are going to build a big lead.
Yeah,
I think this is going to be a back and forth game. And I don't think he's going to be in throw it to get us back in the game mode, but I could be wrong.
Luke Musgrave over on Prize Picks. More or less than 36.5 receiving yards. Tausch?
What?
I would say less.
What?
Yeah, I think less. Everybody is raving about this new safety that Detroit has. What's his name, Jason? He's the
kid from Alabama.
Gibbs?
Yeah.
Early pick.
Sauce.
Raving about this. Sauce
Gibbs.
Gardner. They're raving about him. That typically, he's a ball hawk. We saw old boy last year pick Rodgers off a couple times. If you have a good safety that usually will slow down tight end production, I think Detroit will have that kind of solidified, and I'm going to go less for Musgrave tonight.
First of all, the safety of whom you are thinking, and this is interesting because we have had this conversation before about these interdivision trades and the idea of helping a team get a guy that it really wants. And I remember we crushed the Vikings for helping the Packers get Christian Watson. The player that you're thinking of is Brian Branch from Alabama.
That's it. Yep.
They drafted him in the 2nd round. Do you know who traded them the pick to allow them to draft Brian Branch?
Green Bay?
The Green Bay Packers.
Uh-oh.
So worth noting, because that's a outstanding
notable
observation, and I thought I would give you kind of the Paul Harvey, and now you know the rest of the story. So they have Brian Branch in part because the Packers helped them get him.
And people are raving. So far, again, small sample size.
Yeah.
Lot of national rave about that young fella.
Yeah.
Lots.
Safety
and by
with
the way,
coverage skills.
Feel like Green Bay probably would love to have a young safety with cover skills.
That was my thought as I was thinking about this storyline going into the week, and I wish this wasn't a short week because that was one of the stories I didn't get to write that I would have liked to because he's a pretty good player.
Yeah.
That all said, if we're going to rave about the tight end that the Packers have, I am with Tausch from earlier in the show. If you missed it, check it out on Wisconsin On Demand. But your tight end tango, whatever you want to call this, of Laporta versus Musgrave, that's a good one too, because the Lions are really excited about Laporta. The Packers, as you pointed out, are very excited about Musgrave. Two really good young tight ends. I'm going to go more on Musgrave. If the Packers, if he has 36 yards receiving, I would be surprised if the Packers won the game.
I don't know about that.
Well, now wait a minute. Now why are you poo-pooing?
Because I think with Watson back, Reed.
You think Watson's going to play a full complement of snaps?
No, I don't. I don't think he's going to play a full, but he's going to have. He is going to have some catches.
All I'm saying, Musgrave, 3 for 50 in the opener, they win. Musgrave, game 2, 2 for 25, they lose. Musgrave, game 3, 6 catches for 49 yards, they win.
So where's the line of demarcation?
Why?
30 yards, and they win.
Well, he didn't have 36 yards in the second game they lost. The other two he had more. All right, go ahead, Jesse. Sorry.
All right, 2 more quick ones. Jordan Love plus Aaron Jones, combo wombo. Love and Jones more or less than half a rushing or receiving touchdown. So Jordan Love rushing touchdown or receiving, or Aaron Jones rushing or receiving touchdown. Do any of those happen?
I think they might as well go back to that play. I really love that 4th and 2 play so much. I think Aaron Jones throws Jordan Love a touchdown. How about that? How about running the Philly special?
Get 2 for that, yeah.
No, it just, again, well, it was great. It looked great on paper. You guys, every play ever drawn up in life looks great on paper. They don't draw it up. So I'm going to say less on this. I don't know how much Aaron Jones is going to play. I don't think Jordan Love's going to have another rushing tutter. So I think A.J. Dillon comes tonight and has a couple rushing tutters. I think he's going to be your vulture that finishes these drives off. And I don't think Jordan Love rushes for one. So I'm going to go less.
I'm going to go more. One of those two is going to get in the end zone tonight. So I'm going to go more. All right, Jesse, last one.
This one is, I've never done this category before for our prize picks of the week, and I like this one. Riley Patterson is the kicker for the Lions.
Isn't he the new producer that you've trained?
No, that's Riley Yauk.
Oh, okay.
Smiley Riley.
Silent J. J.
Riley P, more or less than 6.5 kicking points. So a point after is 1, a field goal is 3, 6.5 kicking points for Riley Patterson. Tausch?
Yeah, more. I think the red zone defense for Green Bay is going to be good. I think he ends up with 3 field goals, 1 extra point. 16 points tonight, I think the Detroit Lions score. That's where I got it.
I'm taking this one off the board. I'm not betting on a kicker.
Anti-fun.
Yeah. I'll take 0.5 points by Riley Yauk. I'll take the under, though, the fewer on that one. All right, those are our prize picks of the week. And Tausch, of course, we play those on Prize Picks.
Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy, and Jesse just went over a bunch. Got Christian Watson, 36.5. I think I'm going to go less tonight. I think he's still going to be nursing that hammy a little bit. Amon Ross St. Brown, 72.5. I like more, for him. I think he's going to be their main target. No Jair tonight, probably. Those are the dabbling that I'm looking at. Of course, Jordan Love more. Those are my 3. You guys can look at whatever you want. You don't have to go against me. You can just go off of Prize Picks' player projection. You pick 2 to 6 players. I always go 3. You go 6. You can win 25x on your money. You're not competing against others, just the projections. And Prize Picks offers them on every sport you can think of. Cricket, Euro basketball, disc golf. Disc golf. Wow, that could be something. And entries can be made in 60 seconds or less. Just download the Prize Picks app or go to prizepicks.com and use that promo code WI. You get an instant match of $100 on the 100 you put in. You put 100 in, Prize Picks gives you 100 again. Go to prizepicks.com.
All right, so when you said cricket recently, it perked my ears. Disc golf?
Yeah, well, it's become obviously very, very popular. You go to most of these parks now, you'll see the chains rattling. And,
George Costanza calls it frolf. Yeah.
People with backpacks with different styles of frisbees because you want the heavier ones for putters. You want to be able to maneuver it around different trees and things like that. So, yeah, it's grown, and I guess you can...
Have you played?
You can throw a little bit around if you like.
I'm taking the under for Tausch.
You sound experienced. Have you played? Have been out
It's
there?
actually less, more or less, not under. But, yeah, you can take
Thanks for
less.
the correction.
I have played a lot of disc golf in my day. Yeah, it's a fun game.
Are you good at it?
I'm better than my brother, who we've played down in where he's at, and I beat him in a really hard-fought matchup. Very hard-fought. That was last year.
Despite your victory, he still helps you with your headlines, and those, presented by Fleet Farm,
oh boy,
are next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. From the tee box to the green and everything golf-related in between.
Who's number 1?
Max.
Yeah, Max Homa's number 1. It's not even close, right?
On the tee with Gabe Neitzel and Stephen Watson.
Just because he's been so open and honest already, you get a couple drinks in that guy, like, how open is he going to be?
On the tee with Gabe and Stephen, presented by Wisconsin Golf Trips. Tuesday night at 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN, and available with Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. If you're in the market for a full-size 8-passenger SUV, look no further than the Defender 130. And with the Defender 90, the 110, and this 130, there's luxury in the right size for everyone. And now is the best time to take advantage of a great offer like this.
For a limited time, get 3.9% special APR rate for up to 60 months on new 2023 Defenders at Land Rover Waukesha. Go to LandRoverWaukesha.com.
Kevin Murat here from Mentality Men's Health. We hear stories every day in our clinics that what used to work for guys doesn't anymore. Increase cardio, cut out certain food, nothing stops the changes in their bodies, especially the weight. The fact is, years of decreasing testosterone has packed on the belly fat that won't go away. We've introduced a medication, semaglutide, that helps drop 15% of the body weight on average while preserving testosterone. Join the over 20,000 Mentality clients and jumpstart your results. In Milwaukee, go to lowtusa.com. That's lowtusa.com.
Hi, this is Wayne Larrabee, the voice of Green Bay football. You know, fans count on me to make the right call every time, and I can continue to do that thanks to Summit Eye Care of Wisconsin. When my vision began to drift, my eye doctor said Summit Eye Care was the best place to go. Using the latest adjustable implants, the doctors at Summit were able to fine-tune my vision. In fact, my vision is now the best it's ever been. Summit Eye Care was the right call to help me see all the action on game days.
To schedule an appointment at one of their locations, visit summitiwi.com.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin plays at an MVP level. They came in ahead of time, make sure they had all of the measurements. When the Pella people left, you had no idea they had been here. You just had the new window. They're great professionals, Gina, and some of the best in the world at what they do.
Right now, pay as low as $19 a month per window or $75 per month on patio doors. Visit PellaWI.com today.
$6.99 APR for 120 months. Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offers end 9/30/2023.
Who makes insurance simple? That's easy. Delta Dental of Wisconsin. So if you ask, what company encourages you to use your benefits for regular preventive care? Or who provides quick service online or by phone? Which insurance offers access to the largest provider networks? Or who helps you save money when you need more than a checkup? The answer's the same. Definitely Delta Dental. For dental and vision insurance made simple, choose Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision today.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
This Badger Minute brought to you by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. Hop in or hop online at uwcu.org to join. Only 2 college football teams have a kicker that is a perfect 7 for 7 on field goals through 4 weeks of the season. Alabama and Wisconsin. Nathaniel Vakos, a transfer from the University of Ohio, has made his first 7 field goals of the season and was honored this week as the Big Ten Special Teams Player of the Week after hitting 3 of those against Purdue last Friday. Vakos becomes the first Wisconsin player to earn that honor since Colin Larsh won it after going 3 for 3 on field goals against Purdue in 2021.
Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, pay as low as $19 a month per window or $75 per month on patio doors. Visit PellaWI.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Time now for headlines. Presented by Fleet Farm. And hey, Muskego!
Oh, Muskego!
Even though one of your least favorite sons claims you as home, there's lots of good news going on in Muskego, including the fact that Fleet Farm has arrived in Muskego. The brand new store is now open. And come and find everything you need for your everyday life, from pet supplies and fall yard care to hunting gear and your automotive essentials. You'll find them all in one place at Fleet Farm. And don't miss Fleet Farm's pumpkin painting this Saturday.
Pumpkins.
From 10 a.m. until 2 p.m., the first 300 kids can come and paint a pumpkin with all their favorite colors to display this fall. Visit FleetFarm.com to find out more information. Fleet Farm, everything you need for your everyday life at Fleet Farm, proudly serving the Midwest since 1955. All right,
for all the times that
Jason,
we've talked about that, we've never addressed it's Jason's favorite thing about the state of Wisconsin is the pumpkin season.
I do love.
He does.
I actually got into it with Jim Rutledge, who was besmirching pumpkin patches on Rutledge and Hamilton, saying that you could just go out to a field with your kid because they don't know any better when they're little. I vehemently disagreed with him, spent a little time arguing about that on Rutledge and Hamilton before talking him off the ledge of abandoning his Bears fandom. I know times are tough.
Why would you want so much misery? Is there a more fun word to get rid of a letter than pumpkin? Pumpkin. Like, that's a fun word to say without putting the P in there. Pumpkin. Pumpkin. Pumpkin.
Soliloquy.
That's not the same word.
It's time now for headlines.
And by the way, no, your kids, they just want to get pumpkins. They don't need to get hot chocolate and fire pits. And you just want to get pumpkins back and jack-o'-lanternize them up, make them into the fun deal. You think kids care where you get your pumpkins at?
You do a lot of really good things on this show. You are really good at what you do. One of the things that you do tend to do is tell people what they think, and you're doing it again now with my children.
No,
but they don't care where their pumpkins come from. They love the pumpkin patch. One of the reasons I love the pumpkin patch is because of how much they love the pumpkin patch. We go to the same one every year. The farmer that works there listens to our show, so if you could stop besmirching pumpkin patches,
nobody's
that would be great.
besmirching him.
You're saying they don't care if they come from the grocery store or Fleet Farm. They just want their pumpkins to carve. No, that's not true.
But
at least not
they
with my
go
kids.
to get pumpkins. They want to decorate the pumpkins. That's the deal. That's why you're going to the pumpkin patch.
They enjoy picking them out in the field. They search for the perfect. I know this is going to come as a surprise to you, knowing my personality, but the pumpkin picking process for the Wildes is an extended one because they have two parents that are very particular. So it is a lengthy process that we all enjoy. In fact, there is some concern in our home that because Maddie has earned a spot again in the Nutcracker and she's got a bunch of rehearsals, that we're not sure when the heck we're going to get to the pumpkin patch.
Oh,
and that is causing some consternation.
Oh, yeah, that's tough.
All right. Now, if we could get to headlines, we all know that Tausch has been running away with the headlines lately. He's got his entire musical ensemble on board, dominating. Well, you know what? This morning, I said to hell with that. Tired of getting my pumpkin kicked.
Hey, Jason, I feel like the Detroit Lions. I feel all the pressure to deliver. I feel like U2 and Jay-Z, where it's now we have to bring it every week. I feel like the Detroit Lions, I have to win. You're sitting there playing with house money. You're the Packers tonight. So there's a chance for an upset.
Well, so our friend Brian Bulaga joins us every Wednesday, and his intro music is a song by Chris Young and Kane Brown called Famous Friends. And I have to admit, before Brian started joining the show, I don't listen to a ton of country music. I know who Kane Brown is. The girls like his music. But I don't listen to a lot, and I have listened to that song multiple times since Brian started joining the show. And so I got a little bit of an inspiration myself.
Oh, I like this.
Okay.
So I went up to the girls' bathroom, closed the door, and put together my own headline. Jesse, you're looking at me strangely. It was like I was trying for the studio effect.
Oh, okay, sure.
You understand? Echoey, like you sing in the shower.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think he was like doing stuff? Or what?
Cleaning.
Phrasing was a little strange. That's okay.
Yeah, it was a little. I could understand why people would take that in an awkward.
They were all right. They were already left for school. It was a quiet room where I could record this.
My buddy Jordan has been awesome, making lots of touchdown throws. And Jones and Watson in the lineup, things are surely looking way up, even though with D-Bot nobody knows. The Pack's got key players that I know you've heard of. With them back on the field, Green Bay is second to none. You might like Detroit and their kneecap bite in, but on Thursday night, Love's got some famous friends. Yeah, he does.
Wow.
Well done.
That was
very
good.
well done.
That was good.
That was very good.
I understand the production quality not quite as high. But I wanted to do it as a surprise. So Jesse got that moments ago. Thank you for cleaning it up a little bit. I don't know if bathrooms serve as the best studio, but I was pretty happy with that. And the Jordan's been awesome was a proud moment for me. I really enjoyed that as well. All right, that's my headline.
It's a good country voice you have
good.
there. That was good.
Yeah, you twanked it up pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
nice.
Jesse, what are you going to sing about?
I yield to Tausch.
Oh boy!
All right, so I knew
good?
this day. I knew this day was going to come. Again, the Academy has been great. They have given us great lines. The lyric writing has been fantastic, and the lyric writing again was really good. I knew. With this game being played on Thursday, it was going to be a quick week. I knew who we were playing. I had an idea of which way we were going. And the amount of high notes that needed to be hit was going to be a test.
Okay.
It was going to be a test. Luckily, I had my one of my pianist friends help me. And Jesse Nelson, roll the tape.
There'll be no calm surrender, but at the end of day, LaFleur has to keep wondering who the hell's gonna play. At this point, the Super Bowl is totally theoretical, but Al Michaels still believes in a Packers miracle. Can the Lions deal with love tonight? He could be a star. It's amazing with these wide-eyed receivers that we got this far. And can love deal with the Lions tonight? It will be a test. We'll find out after 60 minutes if D-Bach needs more rest. We'll find out after 60 minutes who is the North's best.
All right. So many thoughts. First of all, video component, amazing.
Yeah, we added a little something.
So great. Second, Jesse, why do you play the piano like you're Ray Charles or Stevie Wonder? You're closing your eyes, you're leaning back. Has that always been your style, or was that specific to this song?
Music moves you, Jason. Music moves you. It takes you. It sweeps you into the moment.
Okay. Well, that was part of my review. The lyricist, who gets credit for that?
Yeah, Pat nailed the lyrics. They were
he
fantastic.
crushed them. I mean, outstanding. You're not a classically trained opera singer.
I am not.
I respect. I so respect the effort. High notes. I don't want to tell you how to do this because it's so good. It's such a great concept. The high notes were tough to listen to. I mean,
what do you mean by that? I knew going in that this song was going to be a real challenge, but I didn't run from it. We decided to roll with it.
Jesse's the musical teacher here. Mm-hmm. Jesse, can you sing that song at one lower octave so you're hitting the same notes but not straining to the degree that our guy was straining, is my question.
I mean, we could have. I don't know if Tausch really understands octaves or pitch or
I don't.
Rhythm.
I wish I was more musical. I feel like, here's what I would say. There are more songs that will better suit my singing style. I thought we hit that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, very well said.
And I feel fairly confident understanding how the Academy works. That next Monday night will be very fitting for my style. I knew this was going to be a challenge. And outside of the "Can you feel the love tonight?" I felt very good, especially in the beginning. But yeah, those notes were tough.
Yeah,
they were tough to hit. I didn't hit them.
No, I understand, but that is not meant as a criticism. That is meant as I love your perseverance to go through that, because it was a little fingernaily on the chalkboardy to hit those high notes. But overall, still, I gave it my best shot. I still was a distant second. I mean, the lyrics. Is Pat always the lyricist?
He has taken the majority of it on.
He's really good at it. Really good.
Yeah, he's good. He's creative. He's got a lot of.
Josh in Heartland texting in, who is a music teacher, by the way, and a vocal teacher. Tausch, I have openings for voice students. Call me ASAP.
So one of the things that we as the Academy are thinking about, I have a couple of other people helping. I'm going to continue to plug. I think we're doing this for 17 weeks and then hopefully playoffs. We do want to have a listener that can sing jump in and help. Don't know who that's going to be. Maybe it'll be Josh, since he used to be such an integral part
but he's
to
got
headlines.
That busy schedule.
Yeah, it's not the holiday season. He should be open right now. He's a big pumpkin patch guy, though, so maybe that's what's taking him.
So am I. Erica in Milwaukee on the talk and text line does point out from your headlines, I can't really tell who you guys are picking to win. We've really lost our way on headlines.
Lions 24-19.
First we started with it being a predictive headline that was, pithy, reasonably short. Then came Presidents Polk and Pierce and Biden is
that
time.
Was fun. Yeah.
And suddenly then it became this elongated headline that we all would get as many puns in as we could. But at least it had a prediction at the end. I think, to be fair and to acknowledge the accurate criticism from Erica, I'm not sure either one of our songs were predictive.
I think that's very fair.
Yeah, I don't think anyone picked anything. The D-Bach being outlined was really good, though.
That kicked in pretty good. That was a good line.
You both touched on that one, I believe, right?
All right, so those are our headlines. Thank you for tuning in to Name That Tune. You're always welcome to join us here on Wilde and Tausch. Those are headlines presented by Fleet Farm, proudly serving the Midwest since 1955, now open in Muskego. Whoa, Nelly, which may or may not include Jesse playing more piano. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This on air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
It's Chevy truck season, and with a Chevy Silverado, there's no such thing as an uphill battle. With a Chevy Silverado, you can take on the mountains, or you can move them. Because with impressive towing capability, an available 13.4-inch diagonal touchscreen, and the choice of powerful engines to pick from, whatever your mountain, there's a Silverado with the capability you need. Visit WisconsinDriveChevy.com.
Charge into October. Get your Brewers postseason tickets now. Secure your spot and prepare to unleash chaos, make mayhem, and watch stars come to life in the spotlight of postseason baseball. The Brewers' moments you live for are coming. Make sure you don't miss a single pivotal pitch or season-changing home run. Get your Brewers postseason tickets now at brewers.com/postseason.
Kessler's works with crazy genius diamond cutters around the globe.
But we keep our crazy genius jewelry designers right here at home, where we can keep them busy.
Monica, I heard we gave our design team a challenge.
Yes, we gathered all 14 of them together and made their eyes sparkle with joy. What did you say? I said we wanted each of them to design a pendant that looks and feels like springtime.
Springtime! New life!
14 designers? 14 pendants?
Yes, and we manufactured exactly 8 copies of each of these 14 designer pendants.
There are only 112 of these limited edition pendants in the whole world?
Yep, and they will sell for only $299.
Wow.
One last thing, we're donating all the profits to the charity of the designer's choice.
Being employee-owned gives us the freedom to do fun things.
And then we share those things with you, the people we love.
See the crazy genius designer pendants at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Buckle up, it's all systems go at Potawatomi. Plug in to high wattage play and you could win an all-electric BMW i7. Play now through September with your club card. Prize drawings on Thursdays. There's a shocking $800,000 in total prizes on the line, including the luxury BMW i7. It's time to electrify your drive. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. More info at paysbig.com/BMW. Must be 21 years old and a club member to play.
I thought I was going to have to go through a hip replacement or some painful, unsuccessful surgery or be crippled the rest of my life.
Electrical engineer Dan Vogler had awful arthritic pain in his hips. Pain that not only affected him physically, but also emotionally. And it spilled over even to his relationships.
I was almost mean. If you're in pain and other people don't sympathize with it, you're lashing out at the wrong people.
But then Dan found QC Kinetics. With the latest advances in regenerative medicine, non-surgical treatments with lasting relief.
I felt immediate relief. I mean, within half a day, much of the inflammation and pain was down.
And today, Dan says he's totally pain-free, living the life he wants.
At the end of the fourth treatment, I felt pretty much healed and enthused and was raving about QC Kinetics. I can recommend them highly to anyone.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do, do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
My buddy Jordan has been awesome, making lots of touchdown throws. And Jones and Watson in the lineup, things are surely looking way up, even though with D-Bach nobody knows. The Pack's got key players that I know you've heard of. With them back on the field, Green Bay is second to none. You might like Detroit and their kneecap right in, but on Thursday night, Love's got some famous friends. Yeah, he does.
All right, that was my headline. I didn't realize you were going to replay that.
Yeah, he does. I like that.
Yeah.
So when Blue comes on next week, we play that version, Jesse.
Well, it depends how tonight goes, I guess.
That's fair.
If they lose 40-0, I don't know if we want to revisit that.
I would be curious, since that is his song. It's obviously not nearly as well done as Chris Young and Kane Brown, but I would wonder, I'd be curious for his feedback on my effort about his theme song. Speaking of feedback, I have a feeling we're both about to get some from someone who knows what the hell they're talking about. This guy knows voice and singing and music like Brian Bulaga, knows how to reach a shade and protect the quarterback. Josh and Heartland. Josh, you're taking up Whoa Nelly, so this is really killing two birds with one stone. Your thoughts on the musical stylings of Wilde and Tausch?
I mean, what happened to headlines?
Yeah, that's fair.
I could go to any karaoke bar in the area if I wanted to really give my ears a challenging workout. You guys are very talented at analyzing football and arguing back and forth. But I got to say, it takes a lot of nerves just to let yourself out there in something that you might not be as confident in. And so for that, kudos. But I do follow up the text Tausch. I don't charge a bunch. So, if you really want to, maybe this is a post Badger analyst career path that you're hoping to get on. Just give me a call. We can get figured out.
Hey, Josh, quick question for you. Yeah, I need help. There's no doubt. The high notes, I don't have the talent to do it. So, two questions. One, if we get you lyrics, will you be a guest singer on the Wilde and Tausch headline?
Yeah, I mean, that fee is more expensive than my teaching fee, but you got money for days, so I'm not concerned about. I'm sure we could get something figured out that way.
Okay, and the other thing, what do I need to? Do I need to just stop? I mean, I know what you're gonna say, but how do I? Jason brought it up. Those high notes. What's the best way to bring that down for me? Is there anything I can do, or do I need to sign up for your program in order to get that advice?
Yeah, if I answer anything right now, I got to start the clock, I charge by the hour. And so whether that's 1 minute or 60 minutes, if I answer
we'll hold off then. I'll talk to you off air. That's fair. What about Jason? Before you go, Josh, Jason, I thought he surprised us. We did not think he was going to do it. I actually thought he sounded really good.
Really good seems strong.
Yeah, so, and I've heard you guys, not so much sing formally like you have for headlines, but I've heard you sing before. I've heard the Nadella commercials. I can tell who's who in those.
The title tones, yeah. Uh-huh.
Jason, both of you, here's the positive. Both of you are not absolutely, neither of you are not absolutely tone deaf. I've taught tone deaf people before and helped them discover how to hear and actually sing in tune. Tausch, yours today was about half and half. But your first one was very much in tune, even with the higher notes. Just, there's some things to work on in that regard. Jason, yeah, I mean, you're right there. There's the pitch. There's just minor little pitch things, but you've got a good basis. I know you're a big fan of musical theater. I know you really like music, and so even just listening to music a bunch, and I'm sure you sing along with Hamilton and Wicked when you're driving back and forth to Milwaukee 12 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, there's a solid base there. And you know what? If you guys want, I do group lessons as well. So maybe there's just a new segment, 9 to 9:30 on Wednesdays, where we just do voice lessons with Joshua Ireland. And I'm sure you'll lose about 95% of your listeners. But yeah,
probably.
I'm not sure that's true.
So
and you
I
might
think what we're
going to
do, I am going to do one of our songs will be Josh and I. We'll figure out the logistics and the paying, all that. We'll figure all that out. Josh and I will be doing a song at some point during the season.
I can't wait for that. Josh, any other constructive or not so constructive criticism before we let you go?
Sure. In the Lambo, the sold-out Lambo, the Lions sleep tonight. The pack wind going away. Bye. I love you guys.
You nailed it.
I miss Josh. But he didn't even give any grief to Jesse. Like, what is good? It's like we're in bizarro world here.
Yeah, I think he
no
just
grief to Jesse at all.
I think he was mindful of the clock. He knew you needed to tell us about Coors Light still.
So.
He's a considerate guy. And I'm sure
no one blames the piano player.
No, Ray. Time now for Tausch to tell us about Coors Light.
Yeah, after all that singing, you know what's great? Cracking open a Coors Light, brewed the 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and cold packaged, because it's made to chill. Born in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado in 1978, Coors Light. Refreshing, crisp, only 102 calories. So it's Coors Light in my hand when I need a moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
We'll wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. It's Dame time in Milwaukee.
It's Lillard. He got the shot off. Lillard, good! And the Blazers win the series.
The Bucks have traded for Damian Lillard.
Lillard, long-range three. It's good! At the buzzer! Damian Lillard! Are you kidding me?
React to the new Bucks Big Three right here. 94.5 ESPN.
I've been living with the snoring problem nearly my entire life. In fact, I can remember my mother teasing me, saying that I'd snore so loudly that the walls of our house would cave in with each breath.
Fast forward only recently when Jessica's snoring forced her husband out of their bed and into another room. It's a pretty common situation. We call it a sleep divorce, and that's not good. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula with Advent. After Jessica had a thorough breathing triangle evaluation, we found that her snoring problem required a simple solution. In-office balloon sinuplasty. It's a 20-minute procedure, and it works. You won't find it offered by Big Box Healthcare, but you will find it at Advent, where we offer every effective snoring and sleep apnea solution available. You can hear more of Jessica's story at adventknowsjessica.com and take your first step towards breathing well so you can live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary.
A bank that goes the extra yard? You got it. Show your love for the green and gold with Packers checking only from Associated Bank. Make every transaction a touchdown with your Packers debit MasterCard. And when you use it at the Packers Pro Shop, at the stadium, or online, you'll get 10% off. Associated Bank's Packers checking scores the home field advantage by delivering Midwest-based customer care, outstanding value, and more. Get in the game and learn more today at AssociatedBank.com/Packers. Member FDIC.
Hey, this is the Fat Jack. Another week in the books. The football selections kill it on Saturday and Sunday, turning a nice profit going 6-2. Absolutely dialed in as we head into October. Are you ready to make money betting the games? Go to FatJackSports.com. Get all the plays. Get the opinions, the selections, the UFC. All of it is going to make you money for less than $100 a week. Only $4.99 through Halloween if you sign up this week. Go to FatJackSports.com. Start winning today. There's no tricks. There's no gimmicks. Just winners.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Want that mirror finish on your car? You need Z-Gloss by Z-Bart. Z-Gloss is a 3-layer ceramic coating that not only gives your car that mirror finish, it protects it from everything that Mother Nature can throw at it. Visit zbart.com for more information.
Jordan Love has yet to play without his full complement of wide receivers this season. Christian Watson hasn't played in the Packers' first 3 games while dealing with a hamstring injury. Watson is scheduled to make his season debut tonight. Love is looking forward to getting Watson back in the fold.
It's going to be huge just for everybody. Just help out. He's going to be a big playmaker for us, and probably just make the offense be a little bit more explosive when he's out there.
It's the Packers and Lions tonight at Lambeau Field with first place in the NFC North on the line. Kickoff is set for 7:15.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
Bucks basketball is back. A new era tips off with Coach Griffin at the helm and your favorite core back on the court. Don't miss a moment of the action, from the slam dunks to the electrifying victories and the roar of 18,000 fans, all unfolding live at Fiserv Forum. Secure your seats now to be a part of every incredible moment. Visit Bucks.com/tickets and join us for an unforgettable season of Bucks basketball. There's a seat waiting for you at Fiserv Forum. Secure yours now at Bucks.com/tickets.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Thanks to Josh in Heartland for offering his for a fee assistance. Tausch, to Erica's point, we never made predictions with our headlines. So let's pick tonight's game before we go. Who you got?
I think Green Bay finds a way to get it done and resets the entire complexion of the NFC North race for this season.
I think so, too. I think they get halfway to their 6 wins that I predicted for them this season with a win tonight. That's it for us today. We'll find out together. We'll be back tomorrow to break it all down. Thanks for coming along for the ride. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on Wisconsin On Demand.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Tailgating is back, Wisconsin. Have you ever wondered how tailgating started? One theory is that it started during the first college football game in 1869, as spectators spent their pregame ritual grilling sausages at of all places, the tail end of a horse. Another is that tailgating started in 1919 during the first Green Bay football season. Fans backed up their pickups to the field, folded down their tailgates for seating, and served food and beverages. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. Since 1960, we've been the place to stock up for all your tailgate rituals. With over 2,000 varieties of beer, 3,500 types of liquor, and over 8,000 wines, Discount Liquor is your one-stop tailgate shop. Discount Liquor in Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma and in downtown Waukesha on Main and Barstow. See all of our weekly specials at discountliquorinc.com.
Discount Liquor.
Kevin Moret here from Mentality Men's Health. Guys, did you know that the stored belly fat reduces your free testosterone? The more the belly grows, the harder it is to drop, mostly because of the decrease in free T. It's a vicious cycle that men are losing, and unfortunately, everyone can see it. Mentality breaks that cycle with semaglutide, an industry-changing weight loss medication that can help you lose up to 15% of your body weight while preserving your testosterone. Join our over 20,000 clients to look and feel the way you deserve. In Milwaukee, go to lowtusa.com. That's lowtusa.com.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin plays at an MVP level. They came in ahead of time, make sure they had all of the measurements. When the Pella people left, you had no idea they had been here. You just had the new window. They're great professionals, Gina, and some of the best in the world at what they do.
Right now, pay as low as $19 a month per window or $75 per month on patio doors. Visit PellaWI.com today.
$6.99 APR for 120 months. Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offers end 9/30/2023.
Gabe Neitzel here. Catch Jen, Gabe, and Chewy morning 7 to 9.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Packers cautiously optimistic they'll have running back Aaron Jones and receiver Christian Watson back on the field versus the Lions tonight in the opening game of NFL Week 4. Jones has missed the last 2 games. Watson has yet to play this season, both due to hamstring issues. Green Bay's 2-1 despite playing most of the season without their top running back and most explosive receiver. In the aftermath of the 3-team NBA blockbuster trade that sent superstar Damian Lillard from Portland to Milwaukee, the Blazers remain engaged elsewhere on deals, ready to talk to contending teams on trades to move Drew Holiday, reports ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. A judge dismissed Patrick Reed's $750 million defamation lawsuits against the Golf Channel, several of its commentators, and other golf writers. Judge said Reed fell short in trying to prove the defendants had actual malice in making comments about him.
From the ESPN studios at Pier 17 in the Seaport District of New York City, this is Greeny with Mike Greenberg on ESPN Radio. You can also listen and watch the show on the ESPN app.
Back and better than ever, Greeny presented by Progressive Insurance. Outstanding guests today. Kmart is here. Dan Orlovsky is here. Mark Cuban will be in our studio a little over an hour from now. Week 4 kicks off with a big one tonight. Blockbuster trade in the NBA, and I just made a complete fool of myself on national TV. All that and a whole lot more. Let's go.
Here we go. Only one place to start.
All right, the one place to start is with Week 4 of the NFL season, which kicks off tonight. We'll have plenty of reaction to the Damian Lillard trade as we continue a little today, but my friends Dan Orlovsky and Kmart, good enough to hang out after we wrap up Get Up, and so we will start there and start with the football, and we'll dive into all of that. Just about 5 minutes ago in actual time, Dan, I struggled to smash a helmet with a mallet, and you suggested that it sort of was a weakness on my part, and I think we could dive into that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, candidly, the consistent placement of the mallet on the helmet was relatively impressive, but the fact that it took, I think, 8 or 9 actual hits of the mallet to the helmet to crack. When Kimberly did it in one, and I actually picked one up and bent it in half with my hands, I think is a little concerning.
Not a great moment on my part. I'm with you on that.
You can't complain on the golf course that you're not hitting it far enough when you can't even smash a helmet with a hammer.
Listen. If this is a scouting report, this is a prospect that I think has tremendous upside. Right now, he may not be ready for the big stage, this big moment of smashing helmets, but I think in time, he's going to do the curls for the girls, and he's going to be ready.
Here's the problem: is if Damian Woody, who usually smashes the helmets, tears his Achilles 4 plays into the season, then I'm going to get thrown out there before I'm ready.
Of our smashing
and
helmets
that's
crew.
the problem, and that is a perfect segue. So, Dan, I really enjoyed your perspective on the Zach Wilson thing. So let's start there and then work our way through to some of the other stuff. There are many people who are watching this and saying, just get him off the field. You're saying, just get the handcuffs off the kid.
Yeah, stop babying him. Stop getting him to the mindset of just make sure I protect the football and let our defense try to win the football game for us. Because the butterfly effect of that is this. Number one, he doesn't make the right choice. There are no instinctual reactions when playing the position. He is just trying to get the ball out of his hands and making sure it doesn't go to the other team. And then two, the defense never in New York gets to dictate flow. They never get a 7 or a 10-point lead, and then the other offense has to throw it a little bit more because they have to get back into the football game. And so that pass rush that is super vaunted never gets to actually rush the passer. If you watch other offenses against the Jets defense, all they're doing is catch and throw, because they believe the other team cannot score because they're not trying to. At some point, the Jets have to realize they've tried it that way.
Yeah.
For a couple weeks, they've tried it that way, and it hasn't gone their way. I'm not saying that they say, Zach, go out there and do whatever you want, and let's just turn this into recess. No. What I'm saying is they have to empower him. Last week, post-game, he's got a interview with Bob Wischusen, who's the voice of the Jets, and he uses the words, my job is to protect the football and try to make a play on third down. Mm-hmm. There is no way that you could play quarterback in the NFL at that position in that mindset well. They got to stop babying him, and they got to start just thinking, we're going to call plays, and you see it, trust it, and rip it. And if it ends up being an interception, our defense has got to bail us out. And that's the only way that they could try to play with some type of dictating to the other team how the game flow is going to go.
And the other thing that would accomplish, and in this case, particularly with the opponent this week, I agree with you, is let them at least really find out once and for all if he can do it or not. If he absolutely can't do it, then you have to recognize that you move forward. The things you can accomplish this season changed substantially when Aaron Rodgers got hurt. You were thinking about winning a Super Bowl. Realistically, that's definitely not on the list of options anymore. So we'll go forward from there. Let's get to tonight's game, Kmart. We got Green Bay hosting Detroit in a really important game in the NFC North. And I thought you made a good point when you brought this up on the TV show today. To quote our beloved old friend, the late, great Denny Green, are the Lions who we thought they were?
Yeah, because think about how the Lions finished the season last year. Week 18, quote unquote, nothing to play for, and they still beat the Packers and Aaron Rodgers. And we wondered, okay, can they use that as a jumping off point? Can they be the same team? And after going through the draft, Jahmyr Gibbs, they upgraded this roster. Jameson Williams, we're excited to see him. Obviously, he's not playing right now, but this is a team that, despite not having Jameson, Goff has looked great. And I think this is their division. Aaron Rodgers is no longer here. This was supposed to be the moment that the Lions said, we are not the same old Lions. We can win the NFC North. And we've been talking a lot about the Packers and Jordan Love, the Packers seem to have found their new quarterback and have answered all the doubts about Jordan Love in 3 games. So I'm excited to see the Lions. This is definitely they need to make a statement tonight.
Yeah, this is the moment for the Lions. All the hype of the offseason and all the expectation, are they the team to beat in the division? Can they contend for the NFC Championship? Like, week 1 was cool. That was great. This is the team that has owned this division for 15 years.
Yeah, more.
This team in Green Bay is beat up right now. They're playing this game without their starting left tackle, their starting left guard, maybe their starting corner. Like, this is a game that Detroit has to go on the road because of the style that they could play. And it's different than last year, because last year was house money, week 18. If you lose, great, and if you win, great. There is no consequence in the long run to that win or loss. It's a good win. This is the one that matters. This is the one that you take control of the division, and you no longer have to be reliant on so many. That's been a story for the Lions for a while. It's like, we have to rely. Well, we need this team to lose, or we need this team to. No, this is the game that you take control of the division, and you can now kind of determine your own fate going forward. You have the lines of scrimmage to do it. You have the weapons on the outside to do it. You're more healthy than they are. They got to go win this football game on national TV.
Greeny with Kmart and Dan Orlovsky with me here as we look ahead at the huge divisional matchup tonight. We've got another huge divisional matchup on Sunday that I'm really looking forward to. Miami at Buffalo. And Kmart, I'll give you credit. because I will admit I disagreed with you when you said this. But when we were going into week 1, the matchup between the Jets and Bills, which felt very different then than it does now, you were talking a lot about Josh Allen and what was at stake and what a big deal that game was. And, of course, he was terrible. He turned the ball over 4 times, and that's the reason that the Bills wound up losing the game. Since then, he's been sensational. And I feel like this game will determine 2 things. Who's the team to beat now in that division? Like Miami is flying as high as a team possibly can. Buffalo can say not so fast. And who's got the quarterback in that division? Because I think the winner of this game, if they play great, that quarterback becomes the early leader for MVP.
Yeah, the Josh Allen thing, the reason I was, quote, critical of Josh is because I love Josh's talent so much, and I know how good he can be. So when he makes boneheaded mistakes, you're like, dude, you are too good to make that mistake. But I covered them in week 2 against the Raiders. That felt like a complete game from the Bills. It felt like defense was playing well, Josh was playing well, the running game was there, and all the questions to Sean McDermott were about, is this the kind of game that you can have? This is what the Bills can be. It's not just solely reliant on Josh. And I talked to Sean McDermott, the head coach, after the game, and he said, we got to learn how to win. You got to be humble. Like, you can't, just because you can doesn't mean you should do. And Josh has to understand that he needs to be smarter in those moments. And Josh, to his credit, has not made some of the same mistakes that we saw last year. My only concern with the Bills is them, for the rest of the season, walking that fine line of trying to, I don't want to use the word cripple, but kind of curtail what makes Josh Allen so great. And that is a lot. Like, listen, that Josh Allen roller coaster, man, that thing is, it's thrilling. It's exhilarating. We love that high. Those lows, though, those lows are so low. Yeah. And I think that's what the Bills are trying to work through. And also, I mentioned this before, Brian Daboll not being there in that building, that has had an impact too, because him and Daboll were like this, Stephon Diggs and Daboll were like this. Ken Dorsey having to build that relationship in this role, that is key as well. And I think they're finally getting to a place where it makes sense for everybody.
Yeah, I think the Bills have to score 35 to win this game. I think they got to treat the Dolphins like they have the Chiefs over the past couple years in that rivalry. To Kimberly's point, what's changed in their offense over the last 2 weeks is they've become the best play-action pass offense in the NFL. And I think in many ways that calms Josh down a little bit. I think that reins him in by play call and philosophically just a little bit. But if they think that they're going to go into this game, and I got into what Marcus yesterday about this, to just ball control, dink and dunk and run the football against Miami, they cannot win. This is a game where it has to be haymaker for haymaker. This is not week 1, where against the Jets it was don't give the ball away and we got a good chance to win the game. Like, Josh is going to have to walk that line this week. It's going to have to be some of those, no, oh yes, plays. And you know what, Greeny, Kimberly, like if one or two of those plays go bad, this is one of those games where you just kind of have to accept it, because 5 or 6 or 7 of them are going to go in your favor. And that's the only way for Buffalo to beat Miami, is they got to try to outscore them. They're not going to out-efficiency them.
It's not just Tua versus Josh. It is Mike McDaniel versus Ken Dorsey. And that's what I'm excited to see. Because we've seen Miami build on what it was last year. And now you've got, what is impressive about Miami too is Jalen Waddle wasn't on the field when they put up 70 points. Like that is wild to me. Like, imagine if they were at full strength. Like that, what Mike McDaniels has been able to do down there, it's impressive. Now Ken Dorsey also has to raise his level. Not just Josh Allen.
All right, one more for Orlovsky. I've got Danny and Kimberly here for one more minute on ESPN Radio before I have to let you go. Bears-Broncos is just an unimaginably terrible game. The Broncos gave up 70 points last week, and they are a 3.5-point road favorite the following week. It's impossible to believe. But I just wanted to get a quick take from you on Justin Fields, because he has been a lightning rod when things weren't going this badly. Now they're going unimaginably badly. Has that reached a point where it's time to give up? I mean, we're just giving up?
I mean, give up on the young man. Greeny, they lost 41-7 last week, and he was by far the best player on the field for them. Yeah. By far. Justin is not all in that different of a situation than Zach Wilson in New York. He has very little trust, very little confidence. That has been taken away from him. I don't think they utilize his skill set nearly the way that they should, and that does fall on coaching. Justin has to play better. Sure, most quarterbacks in the NFL have to play better. This is not going to get better in Chicago. The defense has given up 13 straight games. This is a shockingly disaster in the first month of the season, and I didn't think it was going to get this bad, but watching them, you're just looking for a glimmer of hope right now. And if I'm just being honest, the only glimmer of hope is Justin. And that's a terrible spot to be in.
Yeah. Considering that right now his numbers at least would suggest he's playing as badly as he has at any point. But I'm with you. In the same way that you can't say Russell Wilson is to blame for what happened to the Broncos last week, Justin Fields is low on the list of problems they have in Chicago.
I would say this, and I certainly am learning from it myself. Watching how Green Bay has eased Jordan Love into the NFL after they did it 15 years ago with Aaron, and there's that 18-month span of like, what the heck are you guys doing, Aaron? There's a lot to be said about it in relation to how they look right now, and he looks in comparison to how Justin and their offense and Zach Wilson and their offense look. And I think a lot of us, again, me, is very much so paying attention to it and seeing if I could do my job better when it comes to that conversation and question, because it's vastly different.
Absolutely. And you know, we throw these kids out there, and some of them are ready, and some of them are not. And if you put the kids who aren't ready out, to say they're not ready to play right now is not a criticism. We should not view that as criticizing
I think
them.
the point, Greeny, is it's not necessarily they're ready, is all the necessary variables around them.
Also,
are they ready more so than the kid is ready?
Because Bryce Young's already hurt, and Anthony Richardson's already concussed, and Zach Wilson's been ruined, and Sam Darnold was ruined, and Justin Fields has been ruined, and half the really talented kids in the league get ruined before they even get started. All right, Kmart, Danny, thank you both so much. We'll see Danny this weekend. You'll be in London, right?
I go tonight. I leave out of JFK at about 6:30 to London tomorrow morning, and we call Sunday morning here first one of the season. So I'm pretty fired up for that. Atlanta, Jacksonville, kind of must-wins for both. And Trevor and Calvin Ridley and Bijan Robinson. So obviously very excited.
But first we're going to spar on First Take a little bit, and then you can go to London.
Are you going to be okay with that?
I'm ready.
Do you need to hydrate?
No, I'm good.
Band-Aids?
No, I'm good.
All right.
Just
I'm not Damien Woody.
Don't give her, whatever you do, don't give her a mallet, because we've seen she's dangerous with those. Greeny presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com. Coming up next, one stat that might prove every team in the NFL has one big thing wrong. That's right after this on ESPN Radio.